All right, all right, all right. All right, I think I'm live. Are you set? You gonna be able to get to these documents? Hello.
I got
Okay.
I got
All right. All right, all right, all right. Let's see here. Divas Live with China K. Let's see if we're rolling. Yeah, we've got 20, 30, 30 seconds on this thing. 30 seconds, it says we're rolling. And I'm live. Are you able to get this, LaShonda, on your,
let me pull it up real quick. Give me 1 second.
so we're gonna, so yeah, you got the, let me know when you got those other links because I tagged you in them. And so we're going live with this session. We're talking about introduction to declaring your status. Y'all know how I feel about status. We're gonna talk about that and that term and how it's so widely used and what it is exactly. And so so this is a session that I'm doing with LaShonda K. Let me see who we got. I don't know if I can see. You know what? I can't see any of the people who are coming in. I can't see. Yeah, normally it's going to tell me who's coming in. I know we have some people watching. Hello, hello, hello. Diva and Shonda K is in the house with us. So um we're going to, yes, we're going to go over this session because LaShonda is in my university, Diva University of Civics and Law and Spirituality, Universal Laws. So anyway, but yeah, we're gonna go over this. This declaration, declaring your status. All right, so we're gonna deal with three forms. So we're going deep into this. So you all take notes. Get your pen and paper. Get your computer ready to take notes so that we can really go through this in detail because I go through them, quickly and rapidly where I tell you what the different forms are. But today we're actually going to go through them. Hola, Ana. Mi amigos in Argentina. Hola. ¿Cómo estás? All right, listen. Yo quiero decirte esa información pronto. Pronto, all right? Pero mi español es malo. So disculpa. And otra vez, yo quiero darte esa información en español, en castellano. Pero ahora en inglés. Te quiero mucho. Gracias por tu amor. Gracias por tu atención. All right. Now, my people in North America, or people who speak English, this is the English speaking portion of the show. We're going to go through this thing, the introduction to declaring your status. All right. And what this status deal is about, what the forms are. We're actually going to go through the forms. Hello, Justin. Hello, Sonia and Anna. My people in Argentina, mi gente in Argentina, hola. All right, so we're going to do this thing. Now, I need y'all to know this is going to be a long session, so y'all get ready. Get your pen and paper ready if you really have wanted to know what this declaration and declaring your status is about. For the first time, I'm going to put this thing live, and we're going to do this via request of Shonda K. Say hello to everybody, Shonda K.
How is everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining us. We apologize for running behind. We're just trying to get the logistics and the technicalities figured out. We appreciate your patience. Thank you so much for joining us today. Shalom.
All right, so we're going to do this thing. All right. Again, what we're talking about is the introduction to declaring your status. Now, what I call this is like what I call my get out of jail free card. All right, get out of jail free card. Why do I call that? Because there are documents that we're going to put into play where we start to understand what exactly it is that we're declaring. All right. And we start to, we're going to put these documents into play. We're going to go through them in detail, but basically it's get out of jail free because again, we put that declaration down that is going to declare that we own the corporation. All right. When we put the security agreement down, that is going to be where we are dealing with the copywriting and trademarking of that corporation, all capital letter corporation. And then that UCC one down, that is going to be the lien, whereby we are saying, if you want to do business with this corporation, you got to go through this first. So again, we're going to be putting down some things in the play where once you understand what's going on, the corporation, or these corporations out here, these agents, they won't be able to deal with you unless they go through you and pay you for what they're trying to affect with respect to your corporation. All right, let me take my little deal off here. All right, so this is where what we're doing as we prepare to get into this session. Again, this is going to be a long session. Get your pen and paper, because I'm going to go into detail on some things like I have not done before, where we're going through these documents, because we're going to go through the actual documents now. If you want these documents, you're going to need to contact me. Y'all know where to reach me, Diva Lyrie, DIVAA space LYRI. You can reach me there and hit me in the inbox, and I'll be glad to, we'll set up a session, and I'll be glad to make sure I send you all of these documents. All right. But that's what we're going to be going through, and I'm going to read them out as well. So you ready? Y'all ready for this? You ready, Shonda K? Did you have any questions on anything?
Yes, please.
Did you have any questions on anything before we start, or did you have anything you wanted to add or bring up? Because I know we're live in a couple of different groups. I don't know if you wanted to let us know what groups we're in. And
Oh, no.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I put it in the Sean's group, and it's on our pages. So we shared it. It's giving people the notifications so people can follow.
All right, so let's do this thing. All right, introduction to declaring your status. Now, the first document we're going to deal with is called, we call it the business declaration. All right, now, Shonda, if you could pull that business declaration up. We're going to go through the business declaration. So this is a standard declaration that I do with my clients, where we are declaring the business. Now, let me step back, because there might be a few people who are not familiar with some of the terms that we're going to be using. So let me step back, and let's go over a couple of things first to make sure that everybody's caught up and we're on the same page with some of these terms that we're using. And as we go through this, I'm going to try to explain. And Shonda, if I say something that you don't understand, or the people may not understand, let me know so that I can go back and clarify it. All right. So we're talking about the business declaration. With the business declaration, well, first of all, let me say this. When we're talking about declaring your status, and I've said this several times, status deals with a fictitious organization, a dead fictitious entity. That's what it deals with, because we're standing, when we're doing these documents and this paperwork and we're putting them on record, we're standing as sovereigns. Now, some of you, please, when you get a chance, go and pull down online. It's called the hierarchy of laws. You can find them all over my page. Also, I'm going to put them in the status so that you can pull them down. All right, the hierarchy of laws. Now, again, as we're doing putting these documents, so creating them and then putting them on record, we are standing as sovereigns. All right, we're standing as creditors, and so in doing that, we understand that the status is not even important at this time, because these corporations that are beneath us, they can't even do business with us because we're real human beings. And once you understand that, that is your freedom right there, which is why I always have people to go over the hierarchy of laws and understand what's going on with that hierarchy of law. So once you put that on record, you're standing really as a God. You're creating laws. So a status isn't coming into play. Now, what a lot of people are wanting to do is to correct the status of the corporation. When I say corporation, what am I talking about? We're talking about the all capital letter entity. Now, for most people who are watching this, they're aware of when I say the all capital letter dead fictitious organization. They understand. But for those who don't, there is an all capital letter corporation that was created when your mother signed the birth certificate. All right, the state created it. Really, your mother consented for them to create it with your name, but it is in all capital letters. Now, you have been told that that name is you. That is not your name. When you're looking at your driver's license, when you're looking at a passport, when you're looking at bills, they have all capital letter names on them. That is not you. That is the corporation that your mother created. Now, the problem is that we have never captured or claimed the corporation, so it's just sitting out there. Now, we do manipulate it because every time you sign something, whether it be a mortgage, documents for insurance, a loan, you're manipulating that all capital letter corporation. You just don't know it. All right, because you're creating money every time you sign something. And then there's a middleman, which is called a mortgage company, insurance company. They're going and they're manipulating that account on your behalf because you consented to it. Now, what I've had to tell a lot of people, for example, when we're, when they go and again sign for their house, they get a mortgage, and I tell them, look, you signed over power of attorney. And they're like, no, I didn't sign over power of attorney. Then I have them to send me all the documents. And then we go through every document, and then I have to show them exactly, specifically, this is where you sign a power of attorney, and it'll say that. So we don't understand because, we're signing these documents. We're just wanting the end product, and we're signing over rights and to the middleman. All right. So right now we're learning with this step right here to be able to move the middleman out the way. We're going to take control of our corporation that we have been allowing them to manipulate for us. All right. Did I explain that all right? You have any questions about it?
You better explain it.
Huh? I'm just saying, did I explain it well enough for you?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm all ears. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, so all right, so that's what we've done on that. We're understanding that there's this corporation, all capital letter, that is a corporation. It's an office, and that's what we're going to start treating it as. Now, let me say this before I go on. A lot of people have come, they'll hear this narrative that they made us slaves and they turned us into slaves. They didn't turn you into anything. They can't make you anything. Your mother made you a human being and land, and that's what you are. Now, you are not a dead fictitious entity. You're not a slave unless you keep calling yourself that. And that's the thing. We've been calling ourselves this dead fictitious entity by pulling out a driver's license, by pulling out a passport or whatever, and claiming to be that entity. Well, what we're going to do is learn to not do that. All right. We're going to separate ourselves and understand that anytime, if we wanted to, we could walk away from this social security number. We could walk away from this all capital letter name because it is not us. All right. So that's what we're coming into the understanding of. These documents, they do not give you freedom. What gives you freedom is your knowledge of what's going on in this system. All right. That's your freedom right there. So understanding all that I just explained to you, that's the freedom. So when we're putting this paperwork down, we're using it so that we can stand on it, so that we can have a record of, no, I've already told y'all I'm a human being and I'm not a dead fictitious entity. I already told you that. It's on public record. What you want to do is go down and see the public record because it is now a law because I said so. You understand? It's a law because I put it on record. Now, let me say this. When you declare something on record, it becomes, like I said, a law. And this is why we get blocked a lot when we go, and I don't want to profess that, but just a lot of people have problems with putting things on record, because you're making laws, and you're trying to free yourself from slavery, and somebody doesn't want you to free yourself. So yeah, you're going to have to put a little bit of muscle behind getting these things put on record, but that's what we're going to do, because that's what we want. All right, so here we go. We're looking at the declaration. The business name declaration is what you're looking at, Shonda. So I'm going to walk Shonda through this. And once again, this is her session, and I've agreed to, let's go ahead and do this live, and so that you can see what we're dealing with as we go through this session, and put this on public record. All right, so it's the first time I've done this. Again, normally this is what I do for my clients, behind the scenes, and we go through this. So this is just one part of all, the normally I'm taking my people through 10 weeks of this just to, get this whole session down. But right now, what we're going to do is take a few hours. Yeah, there's going to be a long session. You ready? Get your notes ready. Let's do this so that we can go ahead and understand all of these documents and how to put them into play and what they are for. All right. So the first document is business name declaration. Now, it would be so nice if I could share this. I'm trying to think how I can share this with you guys. But for now, we'll just go through this, and if you want the documents, let me know. I'd be glad to share them with you. And if you want me to walk you through this as well, let me know, and I will let you become a client as well. All right. Business name declaration. This document here is a standard declaration that we put online. What it deals with, LaShawn, if you're looking at it, it says at the top, business name declaration to be conducted under a trade name. Let me see if I can, because maybe I can share this. Are you able to see it on your screen?
Yeah, you should be able to share it with a laptop in the comments on the video.
Let's see here. Yeah. Oh, I'm able to invite friends now. I didn't know I could. I thought they had turned that off. Didn't they turn that off at one point? They turned it back on?
It's just not showing up online because I'm on a cell phone. So they give you different features depending on what device you're using. But I'm trying to my car so I can do the same thing and share it to my friends. They're only letting me start watch parties right now on this phone. So
okay,
I'm about to get them in here.
All right, so let's see. Just trying to see if we can share it. Hello, everyone. We're going to go through this thing now. Okay, I want to see if I can share this. Let me see something. What is it doing? All right. No, that won't work. All right. We're back to Shonda K. So here we go. We're going to go through this. And are you sharing over there?
Yeah, I'm sharing where it'll let me, just in different groups. It's not giving me the option to invite my friends like it usually does.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and we'll get started. And I'll talk you through this. All right. Here we go. Business name declaration to be conducted under a trade name. Business declaration is going to, once again, declare that you own your corporation that your mother created for you. All right. Once again, I'm going to say this. You have many choices in this game of what you want to do. You might decide, okay, I want to, if you decide you don't want to have any parts of this corporation, because some people are, angry and, it was fraudulent and it's, whatever. My mother was tricked, and she was, or, and you can walk away from it. or you can use it as a business. That it is. That's what it is. It's a corporation. Now let's understand this. Once this thing goes into the system, it's there forever. It's there forever. So you can walk away from it. The system is still going to be benefiting from it. The system is still going to be trading on it. So it's your choice of whether you want to use it or not. So I'm just showing you, if you decide this is, how I help my clients who want to use this or want to get control of it at least, to do so. All right. So now what you're going to do, this is called, again, a business name declaration to be conducted under a trade name. And we're saying, if you see it, are you looking at the document? It says state of, and there you will put your state.
Georgia.
Yeah. So you change, it says
So
state
am I
of
gonna go
Georgia.
Florida or Belize?
You can make it Florida, or you can make it, but it doesn't matter, either one, especially if you're moving around a lot. If you're if you're stationed in, like, let's say your home is in Florida and you have somebody there, then you can make it in Florida. And still, you should be able to file this on record in Belize as well. So either one.
Okay.
The county of, and then you'll put the county there. All right. And then the next deal is, it says real person name. So right here, you're going to put your real person name. Now, one of the things that I deal with on this is that a lot of people ask me if they need to change their their name to another name. Now, the deal is that there's your upper and lowercase name. That's the name your mother gave you. Your all capital letter name on your driver's license, that's the corporation name. The deal is that those names sound alike. So understand, when one of these agents come at you, and let's say they're trying to arrest John Henry Doe, all capital letters, and they say, are you John Henry Doe? And you go, yes, I'm John Henry Doe. Well, they're not going to sit there and wait for you to go, well, no, I'm John Henry Doe, upper and lowercase. No, you gone. Because you've agreed that you are the all capital letter corporation. The other thing that causes the agent to have just cause, quote unquote, to arrest you is if you pull out a driver's license with that all capital letter name on it, and it's got your picture, and you're declaring that, hey, I'm a dead fictitious entity, I'm property of the state. So once you're doing that, then you're the one who are declaring that you're the dead fictitious entity and giving them authority over you. So when you are declaring your real person name, this is where you're starting to separate yourself from that all capital letter corporation. And normally I have people to do so by, making your real person name, this is the name that you as a spirit has chosen for your vessel, by making it different, distinct, sounding different than what your all capital letter corporation name is. All right. So for example, my real person name is Diva Laree Day. And my all capital letter corporation name is Laree Day. They're spelled differently. Laree Day is spelled differently. And, there's no Diva. There's a distinct difference between those two. And so that's what my real person name is. You can keep it the same, your upper and lowercase name, but you must be very careful and aware of who you are and who you're saying you are, because when you're answering to that all capital letter name, you are making a declaration. Soon as, even when somebody just say, are you John Henry Doe? And you turn around, you've answered. You've made a declaration that that's who you are. So that's why I say make it a distinctly different sounding name, such that you know to start separating yourself from that all capital letter name. All right. The declaration here says, a God and descendant of original American people and of the Moore family. Now, let me explain what I'm speaking of when I say this, because you can make your declaration say whatever you want to say. Um, in this case, I'm saying a God. A God is a being that is fully aware that they have the ability to change their surroundings by changing their own energies. So we, when we start coming into knowledge of self, we understand that we are creating all the energies that are going on around us. So when we change our energies, then we are affecting everything that's going on around us. That's what a God is, a descendant of the original American people. Now, I put again, this is my declaration. You can make your declaration whatever you want, but mine says original American people. And the reason why I don't use the word aboriginal, because ab means not, or ab means far from. Now, true enough, you can make a declaration in this document and say what you want aboriginal to mean. For me, I'm making it clear original. And then I'm saying American people, American. And let's understand what American means while I'm on this. Ameri is a Hebrew term meaning copper colored. Ika, or ICA or IKA, means land of people. America means land of the copper colored people. And so when I say descendant of the original American people, I'm talking about the original people who were here in this land. And I'm making it clear, and of the Moore family. Now, I put of the Moore family for a couple of reasons. Y'all know how I feel about the term Moore and Moors. But one of the things about that term is that it is respected in certain places. Like I was in Argentina, they actually have the Moorish fez in their flag and their logo, in their seal. That also they're transparent about what happened with their government, and they're transparent about the fact that it was melanated people that were running that government before the Albions took over. They're transparent about that, unlike they are here in the Americas. So the other thing is that we're all mixed in. When the Moors came in, they slept with everything walking. All right. And so we're all mixed with whatever, British, Moroccan, Algerian, original American, and Albion. So, but I just put the Moor in there because I know that it's respected. And so I use it to that effect. But it says of the Moore family, not that I'm claiming to be a Moor, but I'm of that family. Certified that I am conducting a business in city of, whatever city you're in, go ahead and change the city there. County of, change your county there. And then state of, put your state there. So here it says city of Atlanta, county of Fulton, state of Georgia, under the name. All right. You got that, Shonda? You have any questions so far?
Yes. Now, when you're putting your real name, do you have to have a last name, or can I just say Shonda K?
K can be your last name.
Okay.
So, yeah. However you want to put that, but that would be your name that you have declared for yourself. So K can be the last name.
All right.
All right. So now what we've done here so far is we've made a declaration. Now let me say this. This is a standard, a very simple declaration that we do. You can make this as detailed and entailed as you want. You could put your whole family tree, which I'm going to do on one of my declarations, where you can put your whole family tree. You could I have a lot of more they'll put in here. Well, I didn't agree to this. I was a child, and I was, you can put all that stuff in there. It's not necessary. Your point is to declare it under your real person name, and that's it. But if you're doing this let's understand, when this goes on public record, it is there. Like, we can go back and research in our history using the county. So when it goes on public record, it's there. So if you want to put that information in there so that, for example, your descendants can come back and view what was going on at the time, that's perfectly fine. But for this purposes, we're just doing it quick and simple. We're declaring the real person name. We're putting a declaration of who we are and the city, state, and county that we're doing the business in. And then underneath there, you'll see, LaShonda, where it says you've got these all capital letter John H. Doe. And then underneath that, all capital letter John Henry Doe. And then to the side, upper and lowercase John H. Doe. And then underneath that, upper and lowercase John Henry Doe. What you're going to do is put your corporation name.
Variations of your name.
Yeah, that your mother gave you. You're going to put that there. And then let me know when you have that done. All right. And so what we're doing when we're putting these upper and these all capital letter names in here, we're declaring that these all capital letter names belongs to us, the real person. Whatever you've declared your real person name is, you're now saying that this all capital letter corporation belongs to you now. You're declaring it, making sure we're putting it on public record so everybody knows. Understand, when we put something on public record with the county, now understand a county is for counting things. That's where the name comes from. Counting things, counting land, counting people. People are land because you're made up of every element of the planet. So counting things. All right. And so when you put it on public record, it is recognized and respected by every other corporation on the planet. Every other corporation on the planet in all of these state of Georgia, state of Florida, Belize, France, Argentina, they're just corporations and they have to respect that it has been put on public record. It's a good deal to put it on public record in the different counties or countries or places that you're traveling to. But once it's on public record, it becomes a law. All right. So you got all those names put in there?
Yeah, I have one more question.
Okay.
Because I have a group. And so with my group, can I put Shonda K. of Your Majesty to cover both my solo stage name per se and then the group name, which I own the rights to?
Yeah, or you can put that in here where we're listing all of the corporations that we're doing business as. So you can put it under here, but at the top where it says real person name, you want to make sure that that is whatever name you're taking on. That you're.
I'll put Shonda K.
Okay, Shonda K up there under real person name, and then underneath here you can put your corporation. So Shonda K. What was the other thing?
Shonda K. of Your Majesty.
Yeah, Shonda K. of Your Majesty would be, like a business name, and you can make that all capital letter, and you can make that upper and lowercase as well, and you can do the same thing with the other name you mentioned, the other group name. So you can make it
Your Majesty. So then I'll just put Your Majesty by itself.
Yeah, Your Majesty, all capital letters, and then on the other side, upper and lowercase, Your Majesty. Yeah.
Okay. Now do I do Shonda K uppercase and lowercase as well?
No, I would not do Shonda. Well, I'm going to tell you why. For me, for example, when I declared Diva LaRue is never to go into the matrix, ever.
I see.
That means she's not going to ever be an all capital letter corporation. And that is just my starch rule, because I don't need y'all to ever confuse the fact that Diva LaRue is a god. And you don't have no business trying to do business with Diva LaRue at no point for no reason, because she ain't in your system. So that is just how I run that. I never make her all capital letters. Not to be going into the system like that. But if you want to, then you're welcome to. But for me, I make another appellation that goes into the system. So to do business with my all capital letter corporation that my mother created. So That's just how I look at that. Yeah.
I'm just doing some.
You doing some what? Say it again. Say that again. All right. So we gotta. Can you hear me?
I'm just adding a couple more. I'm just adding a couple more because I have another last name that I've used before.
Okay.
So Flowers is my mother's last name, and Hallback is my father's last name.
Okay.
And I used the Hallback name for a couple years.
Okay. So yeah, if you put all of those, whatever. So once you all see this document, and unfortunately we're not sharing it with you now, but again, if you want a session with me, let me know, and I'll make sure you have all of these documents. But once you get the document, what you're going to see is that there's a place where you can list all of your doing business as your corporation names under there. And so that's where you're going to list them, and whatever you want to have in there, that's what you can use. That's going to be for you. All right. So yeah, so we got that. Let's go back to, all right. So now underneath that, and if you all have any questions, put them in, below and or to the side, and let's see if we can try to answer them before we get out of here. Trade name as trademarked and copyrighted in security agreement. Now, we're going to leave that blank for now because we've got a security agreement that we are going to be including in this document, because once again, the security agreement is where we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it in a few minutes, but the security agreement is going to be included in this document such that it's because the security agreement never goes on public record, but it is referenced in this document such that is just as valid. All right, but it's not going on public record. And by the way, the security agreement is a trust. So we'll get into that in a few minutes. All right, so the nature of the business is property management. Why? Because all of these are properties and you're managing them. All right, you see that? You got it? LaShonda K.
Yes.
You got it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so, and those said corporations are owned by the creditor. All right, so we'll see here that you see where it says John Henry Doe as the creditor.
Right.
All right, so so John Henry Doe is the creditor, and you're going to put your real person name there.
Okay. So it's going to be Shonda K.
Yeah, put that real person name there. Because you're claiming
it's Lord.
Your real person name is always going to be upper and lowercase.
Okay, good.
Anything in all capital letters is representing a corporation, a dead fictitious entity. And you can remember that by when we go and look at, for example, a tombstone. The deceased is always, the name of the deceased is always going to be in all capital letters. That's how you can remember when you see something in all capital letters, it's a dead fictitious entity. It's not you. So you want to just be clear on that. That's how we can remember that. All right. So we're dealing with corporations here. The prefix corpse means dead. So this is why when we're talking about all capital letters, we're dealing with a corporation. You want to make sure you don't represent your name or your real person name in all capital letters. All right. Okay, so let's go on to this address here. Now, the address is going to read in care of or C/O. You're going to put you can put a post office box there. You can put whatever. But this is what I need to say. If you're putting an address, you're going to make sure you spell out everything. If it says street or lane or avenue, you're going to spell that out. When we're talking about the state, you're going to spell that out. And let's talk about why. And you're not going to include a zip code. Let's get on why we're spelling everything out and we're not using zip codes. So many people are not aware that there are two United States. All right. There's a United States of America, which is the Republic. And then y'all need to take notes on this, please. Take notes because I need y'all to understand some things. There's the United States of America Republic, which was formed in 1777, supposedly, according to our records. Then there's a United States Corporation, which was formed in 1871 by the Act of 1871, and that is a democratic form of government. All right. Let's understand the difference between the two, because some people, they are Democratic and Republican. I'm a Democrat, and I like the Democrat. Let's understand the difference between those two. The Republic form of government, and this has nothing to do with Democratic or Republican parties, none of that. But a Republic form of government is going to protect your God-given rights at all costs. It's going to protect your God-given rights, meaning there are rights that were given to you that cannot be taken away because they're given by God. What do those rights include? Well, it includes your right to travel this planet without government documentation. It includes your right to bear arms. It includes your right to your freedom of speech. It includes your right to all types of things, to make money and to create your own documents. All of that. Those are God-given rights, and the Republic protects that. Now, again, there's the United States of America, which is the Republic, and it deals with all of the territory of North America. And then there's the United States Corporation, which is only residing in that 10-mile by 10-mile square block called Washington, D.C. And it is not a part of America in any way. It is a corporation that belongs to Britain. So what we need to understand is that when Britain incorporated, they incorporated these terms like GA, FA, FL rather, CA, for the GA for Georgia, FL for Florida, CA for California, and so on. And then they how do you say it? They coined or they copyrighted street, the abbreviation for street and lane and way or whatever. They've copyrighted that, and they've copyrighted GA and FL. So that is their trademarked material. All of these zip codes, they're copyrighted. They belong to the corporation. So when you're using them, and you're putting them on your documents and you're sending them through the mail, this is how they're catching you, because you're putting yourself under their jurisdiction. And so what happens is either you're going to say you're a citizen of the United States Corporation, or you're going to pay a heavy copyright fine for copyright infringement. Because once again, GA, FL, whatever for Washington, CA, all of those are copyrighted by the United States Corporation. So when you use them, you're copyright infringing. So what we do when we're putting an address under our real person name, we're making sure that we're spelling out everything. Street, we're spelling out the state. We're not using a zip code, and we're saying non-domestic without the U.S. Or you can also say, you could say something to the effect of what zip code exempt. You can use that phrase, zip code exempt. So those are this is why we do this with our address. All right. So you understand what the republic is. You understand what a democratic form of government. By the way, a democratic form of government is mob ruled. It means that the minority does not have a voice. So it deals with the majority. And the deal with democratic form of governments is that they always end in chaos. Well, don't you see where we are right now? So what we have to do is understand what's going on with these terms we're using, and even how we're being suckered into believing in certain things. But understand the difference between the republic and the democratic form of government. All right. Now we go on down here. It says this affidavit, because that's what this is, an affidavit, is made in compliance with Georgia Code Annotated Title 10, Chapter 1, Section 490. Now, if you're in another state, you're going to find the codes that goes here that deals with commerce in whatever state you're in. So this is sworn and subscribed before me. Now you can do this in front of a notary, which a notary can sign this, or you can do this in front of the county clerk, who's going to stamp this. But once again, you can notarize it and then take it to the county, have them to stamp it. As soon as this goes on public record, this becomes a law. This affidavit, actually, it has to what's called perfect. It has to be perfected, and that's after, I think it's 30 days. But once you put it on record, and you're giving people the opportunity to come forward and say, oh no, this business is not hers, this business is mine. All right, well, nobody comes forward within 30 days, then this remains your, this is a law. After 30 days, it becomes a law. All right. Now, if you'll go down to the next page, actually, there's a Florida statute there, because you're doing, I think, Florida. So you could take that whole statute there, where it says Florida statutes, Title 33, regulation trade. So you could copy that and paste it where it says Georgia Code Annotated Title, that whole thing from Georgia all the way down to that period, and just paste it over that. And that's going to be your code. So yeah, we already have one for Florida down there, and you can copy and paste that. Do you see it? So you would include that Florida. So Florida statutes all the way down to filing applications. That would be that whole line for Florida, the state of Florida. All right. So for those of you out there listening, let's see if I have any questions here. Quit calling me ma'am. Gladys, hola, te espero pronto in Argentina. I know, I want to see, quiero verte pronto, Gladys. In Villa Maria, I love Villa Maria. Villa Maria. Happy year to you, my heart. Gracias, Gladys. Hola. Let me see if I have any other questions. All right, so we don't have any questions there. All right, so we've got, all right, so this is, okay, so this document is going to go on public record with the county. Let me explain something. Y'all take notes on this. Take notes on this. It's going on record with the county. Again, the county is the highest governing agency on the land. The county is the highest governing agency, and the highest governing agent on land is the sheriff. The sheriff is the highest. This is why, once again, we're declaring everything on record with the county. Now, when we can recognize this by, all your property is on record with the county, and when there's a foreclosure, who are they calling? They ain't calling the police. Sheriff stands higher than the police. They calling the sheriff for that eviction. And once again, the sheriff deals with land. What you need to remember is your vessel is land. They're supposed to protect it, or they're the ones who deal with what's going on with the land. So we're filing this on record with the county because, once again, the county is the highest governing agency. So let's understand this. In the hierarchy of these governing agencies, there's this on the private side, we're talking. On the private side, we've got the county, then we've got the city, and then we've got the state, and then we've got federal. County, city, state, federal, in that order on the private side. And so when we're understanding this, now here's the tricky thing, because on the public side, it's the exact opposite. On the public side, it's federal, and then it's state, and then it's city, and then it's county. Now I'm going to have to do a whole session on the difference between the public and the private side, because that's really, that's hard to grasp. But as human beings and sovereigns and creditors, we're working on the private side. So we're always, when we're declaring something, we're dealing with the county. That's the highest governing agency on land. Now, one of the things you have to understand about the county is that it is federally funded. Federally funded. Now, this is going to come into play and I'm not going to go over that on this session, but one of the things we have to understand about federally funded entities is that the federal government pays for everything. Everything is already paid for. And the deal is, we don't know this. So you know how cops are not supposed to be accepting bribes? When you talk about sheriffs, they can't accept money. They can't accept gifts, because when they do, it's considered solicitation of a bribe. And it's a federal offense. It's a felony. And so I'm saying that because when you go to file your documents, you're really not supposed to be paid. And I have to tell people, and I have to give them the weapons and the tools that they need so they know how to get these clerks to put their documents on record, and they're not supposed to pay. Now, there are a lot of laws going around this, because people, I've heard so many, they're going to shred the documents and all this. Okay, that's fine. It's called a felony. Because when they do not file your documents, and you've got a stamp where they were supposed to have filed your documents, and you go back and it's not on record, you're going to see who signed that document. Somebody's going to prison because it's a felony. So these are the things that we have to understand. So going back to this, a federal agent does not have the ability to accept money. So one of the things that I've found, Shonda, is that people will go in to file these documents. And like, I've had clients that have paid before they knew me, and they paid to go and file these documents, and they don't get back a receipt with the name of the corporation on it, which they're supposed to, because anytime you give money to somebody, they're supposed to give you a receipt. And if they don't, it's a fraudulent transaction. Why? Because everything is paid for. They're supposed to give you, I don't want to go into this in depth, because I need to move on to the next thing, because this is a whole nother session by itself. But we're supposed to give you a receipt to give you the opportunity to cure that debt. If they don't give you a receipt, then it's fraudulent. When you go into a county and they're not giving you a receipt, it is because they are not supposed to be accepting money for your payment. And so if they give you a receipt that says county of whatever, and it's got the name of their corporation and the price that you pay, that's a felony. Whoever gave you that receipt, they go into prison because they're not supposed to accept money. Why? Because they're federal. And this is not just in North America. This is around the planet. I know because I had a conversation with this, and I already knew to some degree, but when he said it, this is what set it off in my mind. I said, listen, because I'm in Argentina and I'm filing my documents, and he's a very kind guy, spoke English, and he made things much more, much clearer and easier for me. And I asked him, I said, listen, can I pay you to help me just read my documents? And he said, oh, I'm a federal agent. I can't accept money. And that's what set it off right there. He was like, but no, there's a place where you can get it done for free, which I did get done. But he was like, but I can't. He said, I'm a federal agent and I can't accept money. Again, federal jurisdiction is planet-wide. Right? So anywhere you go where they have a post office and they accept mail, this is federal jurisdiction. And so when you're talking about putting stuff on record, these counties are under federal jurisdiction. All of the courts are paid by federal government. Who is the federal government? The post office, the UPU. Look up UPU, Universal Postal Union. Look that up because that's the federal government. And they are funding all courts, any federal court, all these judges, all of the counties. They're funded by the federal government. And so everything is paid for. When you go in there, even the post office, it's a federal government. It's already paid for. They're not supposed to be accepting money for any of that. And so what I do is I arm my people, my clients with the tools that they need to go in there and get what they need so that they can file their documents. All right. Once again, if you all have any questions, please put them below. I'm here with Shonda K. We're going through her process as she gets her documents in order so that they can go on public record. I need to save this video when you ladies finish. That's right, Mario Moore. Gaddy. Hello, Gaddy. Wow. All right, Gaddy. So put your questions down if you have any, and I'll try to get to them before we finish up. But there we go. The declaration, and once again, let me just go over what it is. It is declaring your corporation name that your mother gave you. You are declaring, finally, since it's been wading out in the wind, you're declaring that it belongs to you. That's what this is. And now you're going to put it on public record with this document, and it is to be filed with the county. I always have my clients to make 3 copies of this. You're going to make 3. I need to go back over something, Shonda. I need you to pay attention to this. You're going to make 3 of these documents, 3 copies of these documents. 1 is for your for the county to keep on public record. 2 is for your poor man's copyright. We always do a poor man's copyright. And then the third one is for your reference copy. Poor man's copyright is where you're going to put this in the mail with a registered mail number, and you're not going to open it. This is exactly how they come about your Social Security number. You could have done this yourself. You just didn't know that you didn't have to go through the United States Corporation to do this. Well, now you're learning. So let me say this, Shonda. Go back to this document, and I want you to go down to the bottom where it says applicant and date, and let me know when you see it, or it says on this day, because this is where your notary is going to sign it.
Okay.
You there?
This such and such day. Yes.
Okay, so watch this, Shonda. Now, when we're talking about money, because this is what I've had go a client that happened with them. When you're talking about making something money, understand your signature creates money. Your signature creates money. So when you were looking at this document is no different than any other financial document that makes money. When you look at, and when I say money, I'm not talking about real money, but let's understand a financial instrument. A financial instrument. So like a dollar bill, a Federal Reserve note is a financial instrument. When you look at your dollar bill, you're going to see two seals and you're going to see two autographs on that document. Because all bills, whether it's a 20, 10 or 50, whatever, they're going to have two seals and it's going to have two autographs. That's what makes it money. All right. And on there, it's saying, well, this money is worth $1. This money is worth $50. Okay. Now, when you're looking at your document, understand that this is, once you sign it, once you autograph it over here on the right, you as a creditor, and you put a date on it, and on the left, you got a notary, all right, who's going to put an autograph and a seal on it. And then once it gets stamped by the county, this becomes money. This becomes money. It has a financial value now. It's a bond. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yes.
The reason why I'm telling you that is I had a client that made his 3 copies and he took that into the county to have it filed. And they were giving him all kind of runaround about, well, no, you can't, well, we can make a copy of it. Because this is what they told him. It's like, we can stamp one of them and keep it on record and we can give you copies. And I told him that is not what we're going for. I said, you need 3 copies with wet ink signatures and their stamp on it. You don't want a copy of the stamp. You don't want a copy of your signature. Why? Because what this is money. They know that. They know that they're getting ready to create that. They don't want you to have the real money. You see how they say, don't copy a dollar bill. Don't copy, you can't copy a stamp because those are real. That's real money. Well, this is real money that you get ready to make. And they don't want you to have this because you can take this and create, this is a financial instrument. They want to keep it on file to make sure that you can't, and give you a copy so you can't do anything with it. The deal is you just don't know what you can do with it right now, but they know it's got power. And that's why they don't want you to have it in your hands. So when you take this up there, you have to be adamant. No, you're going to stamp my copies with my wet ink signature and my notary's signature on. You're going to stamp it and put this on record. You understand? Hello?
Yes.
All right. So that's where we are with, recognizing, what these documents is that we're creating and putting on record. All right. That the declaration, anybody have any questions? You have any questions on that? Because we're about
not right now. Everything is pretty clear.
All right. Now let me say this. When I go through these sessions with people, my friends, when y'all come in and we're in our sessions, and I always tell you this beforehand, but I don't do this just for to be, just to tell you, because I'm about doing. I don't even really consider myself a teacher, even though people are like, you're a teacher. I'm a doer. We're doers. And when I'm with you, we're going to, I'm like a fitness coach. You understand? I'm not going to sit there on the phone and tell you, okay, well, this is what you're going to do. You're going to do 50 push-ups and then 10 sit-ups. No, you're going to do them while I'm there. We're going to go through it and you're going to get it done such that when we get off this phone, only thing I want you to do is go get this stuff notarized and then be ready to put it on record. That's what we are. Moasi, what's up, brother? Luis, Javier, Mi gente in Argentina, hola. All right, we're ready to get into this straw man agreement. Let me know when you have that pulled up. And so once again, for those who want these documents, when we do our sessions, I make sure you have them. If you're wanting them, hit me up. And, if y'all want to do a donation for them, I'll be glad to send them to you. I appreciate your love, your attention, and your support, and your desire to want to know how to free yourself. Free yourself. All right, you with me, Shonda K? Security agreement. We're ready to go over this.
My phone just went out for a minute. But before we move on, why is it important to sign to the right and not the left?
Good. Thank you for asking that. As creditors, we always are going to be signing on the right. You notice this. I mean, we do it all the time. You can see it when you're signing your checks. You're always signing on the right. You're the creditor. You're the one who's been moving this account the whole time. You just didn't know that you were doing it. So, that's why, let me try this again, just in case that blanked out. As a creditor, you are always going to be signing on the right. You've been manipulating your account for the longest. You just didn't realize you were doing it. You're the creditor. That's why when you're signing your checks, when you have those little stubs that come from your bills or whatever, you're always signing on the right. On the right as a creditor, because that's where creditors sign. Debtors sign on the left. Well, if you're the creditor, that's why they got you signing on the right. And you haven't been understanding what the game is. Well, now you're coming into understanding. All right, where do I get the declaration paperwork? Hit me in the inbox, Lyric Marie, and I will be glad to send that. It wants to mess up when you're giving the good details. That's right, because they're trying to block this, but you can't block this, baby. We're coming with the power. We're going to keep coming with the power. But yeah, let me know if something I said didn't come through. But yeah, you can hit me up if y'all want to do a donation on that. I love it. I appreciate you. I came late. What is y'all talking about? We is talking about your freedom, Gaddy. How did we become economic freemen's men? How did we become how do we become, freemen's men? I don't know what freemen's men are, but I'm just becoming free woman. No, I am free woman, and I'm just trying to help y'all become free, whatever you want to be. All right. Let's see here. What other questions? All right. Yeah. So if I have any questions, please put that in. Put that below, so I can get to them, and we can answer your questions and help you get what you need. Now we're going to go over the security agreement. All right. Let's understand what the security agreement is about, what it's for, and its purpose. All right. For my clients, once again, we're here with Shonda K. Once again, we're here with Shonda K. And Shonda K has asked me to go ahead and broadcast her session. These are sessions that I would normally have in private. But, she wanted to give this as a gift to you all. And I said, okay, well, let's do it. So now we're on the security agreement. We just finished with the declaration. And once again, once we're finished with this, you'll be able to go back and take a look at what we're doing. Normally, our sessions are going to last for 3 hours. And so we're at an hour right now, good. And we're going into the next section, which is the security agreement. Understanding what the security agreement is. All right. Now, in my security agreements, our standard security agreements, and again, I give the documents and you can change them and make them whatever you want to be. You can word them however you want to. In these security agreements, they do 4 things in my standard security agreements. One is going to transfer everything in the all capital letter corporation's name to the real person. So your corporation is going to sign over everything in its name to the real person. Let's understand how that works. So when you go out and buy a car, you buy a house, you buy whatever it is you're buying, you're actually, that is in the name of the all capital letter corporation. That's in the name of the corporation. It's not in your name. So now what you're going to do is get your corporation to sign over everything it owns to the real person. All right. That's one thing. The second thing it's going to be doing is this is where you're actually defining the copyright and trademark of the all capital letter name, where the corporation is stating that the real person is the only person that has authority to do anything with this copyrighted all capital letter name. That's your corporation is saying you are the only one who has the ability and authority to do that as the real person. The third thing that it's doing is there's a bond inside of the security agreement that we're going over. There's a bond in here. So again, this is another financial instrument in this security agreement. And fourth, it is stating all of the rights and all of the possessions that the all capital letter name corporation can have and what is turning over to the real person. All right. So this is long. Y'all get ready. Get ready. All right. Let's do this thing here. Security agreement. You have it pulled up? You have that straw man security agreement pulled up, Shonda? There's that delay. Hello. Hello. Shonda. All right. So while she's getting her signal back, the security agreement, once again, this is for private. All right. So the security agreement is for private record. Your private record. This does not go on public record. It goes on private record, which is why we are referencing the security agreement in the declaration. All right. So you ready to do this?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up and sound a little more, so I don't want to miss this.
All right. So once again, this is a long section here that we're going to be going over. Let's see. All right, let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, so, all right, what we've got is the security agreement, again, to be in your private records. All right, non-negotiable, non-transferable is what you'll see here under security agreement. That means that this document, it is a financial instrument, but it is not to be used for anything except for what this document says it is to be used for. So like when we're talking about negotiable instruments, we're talking about a dollar bill, for example. Again, that's an instrument. It's got those two signatures and those two seals on it. It's an instrument. And it's negotiable because you can use it for whatever. If I want to use it for, buying some food, I can. If I want to use it for paying a bill, I can. It's negotiable. However, this instrument is non-negotiable and you can't transfer this to somebody else. This is only for those intended for those who are spoken about in this document. All right. All right. So let's go through this. The security agreement number. Shonda, I need you to create a security agreement number for this and type it in there. Let me know when you have it.
How many digits?
Whatever you want to make it.
Can I use my birth year?
You can.
Okay. So I put that right up under the word security agreement?
You put it next to. So it should say # SA dash and then whatever number in there you can put in there. All right. Here and after, this is called the agreement. Now, I need you to take that number, Shonda, and you're going to go back to the declaration. And in the declaration, the business declaration, you're going to, near the top, as a matter of fact, in the middle, rather, where it says trade name as trademarked and copyrighted in security agreement, # SA dash, you're going to put that number in that space.
Okay. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, so we're going to reference the security agreement inside of the business declaration, and we're referencing it because once again the security agreement does not go on public record. This is a private document, but we're referencing it because it's going to stand just as firm once this declaration is perfected. Then everything in this security agreement becomes law. Everything in the security agreement becomes law on public record after this declaration is perfected within, I think it's 30 days. It could be shorter than that. All right, so let me know when you have that typed in, because we're going to go back to, once you have that typed in, we're going to go back to the straw man agreement. Let me know when you're ready.
Give me a second. I'm just trying to figure out how to toggle between the two documents because I'm using my phone.
All right, and
you know, it's not as easy as a laptop. Give me 1 second.
And once again, if you all have any questions, please put them in the box below so that hopefully I can answer them before I get out of here. Sunny, thank you for joining Diva Loree. All right, what was I saying?
So I'm just gonna type it in on the trademark, right? SA 1980%. What I just did.
Right. Yeah. So once again, you know,
That's done.
we're going through these because this is how, you know, I walk my clients through this, and I make sure that once we're done and we get off the phone, you need to be headed straight to the notary and making a beeline to the county to put these on public record, because we doing it. We're doers. I'm not trying to sit here and teach you. We're doing it. All right, let's go on. Hill Bay, is this live session going to be available on your page later tonight? I would like to watch this with my partner. Sure, yes, this will be available on my page. Thank you, Hill Bay. If you want the documents themselves, just hit me up. And if y'all do a donation, Diva Loree loves you. Diva Loree appreciates you. All right, where are we? We are
back on the
straw man agreement. All right, so this security agreement, # SA, whatever you've made it, agreement is made and entered into on, you can put today's date, on today's date, by and between the real man, or in your case, you could put real woman. And right there where it says John Henry Doe in upper and lower case, you're going to make that your real person name, upper and lower case. The real woman, upper and lower case, your real person name. All right, hereinafter known as secured party. You've made yourself the secured party. And the straw man, all capital letter. All right.
Every straw man that I listed.
Yes, you can list all of those straw man in here and put debtors. So
Okay.
you want to list
the real woman, Shonda K, herein after now and as secured party and straw man, and list all of them. And after, or do I put debtor after each one, or do I list them all and put debtor to include them all?
Yeah, list them all and then put debtors with an S.
Okay. Bear with me, because I'm toggling.
All right, and then after you do that, you're going to be hereinafter debtors. So hereinafter known as debtors with an S. All right, and so we'll just change that as we go through the document. So once again, we're changing these documents. When I'm sitting in with you guys, we doing it. We doing it.
Doing
So yeah, we're going to be changing it as we go through it. So if y'all have any questions, please let me know while Shonda K is handling that. Yes, you're most definitely correct. Thank you, Dwayne. I don't know what I'm correct about, but you know, it's always a pleasure to hear that. uh, hit me up with any questions you have so I can answer them while we're going through these documents.
Okay, I'm almost done, Empress. Thank you so much for your patience.
No problem. All right, so let's see here. Once again, we're dealing with the security agreement. We're in the introduction part of this. We're setting up all of our definitions of who's who with the debtors, who's the secured party or the creditor. We're setting up all of these different entities at the top of this document in the introduction.
Now, can I just put it in as a list, or do I have to do it like in Senate structure?
No, you
can. It paste. I mean, I could do it like a list because it just pasted it like a list, and it's not letting me make it.
That's fine.
Go back to a Senate structure. Okay.
Just make it as a list, and then yeah, because you're gonna copy and paste that when we get to this next definition down here where it says debtor. So yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna put the last four of my social.
The last four, yes.
Okay. All right. I'm caught up to you now. I'm under the social secured party, John Henry Doe.
All right, now let me read this because it says if any part or portions of the security agreement is found to be invalid or unenforceable, such part or portions shall not void any other part or portions as reasonably segregable from said parts or portions. The parties hereinafter parties are identified as follows. So once again, make sure in that paragraph you said debtors with an S in both those places. Then we're going to go down here to secured party where it says John Henry Doe, upper and lowercase, that's your real person name and all derivatives thereof. And once again, when you put that address, make sure that address is non-domestic and care of. You're going to make sure you spell out street, lane, avenue, anything like that. You're spelling that out. When they're talking about the state, you're going to spell that out. And you want to put republic behind it because we're recognizing that we are in the United States of America Republic. All right. And we're not dealing with the Democratic United States Corporation, which has nothing to do with America at all. If you didn't hear that, go back and catch the beginning of this session so you understand that there are two United States. There are two United States. One is the United States of America. That is the Republic. The other is the fraudulent United States Corporation. That is the Democratic. And you want to make sure that you do not infringe on that corporation's copyrighted material. All right. When we're talking about the debtors and you list their names, though you can use a zip code there. You don't have to, and you can use an abbreviated state because when you're talking about your all capital letter name, that is your mother created, that is under the United States Corporation. And so you can use that under there if you wish, or however you want to set that up, but just letting you know the difference between the two. The all capital letter name is under the United States Corporation. And if you want to use that address with the abbreviation and the zip code, you can use it there, or you don't have to, however you want to set that up. And then once you finish that, you're going to go ahead and put that your last four digits there. Now, therefore, it is hereby agreed as follows. All right, and then let me know when you're ready after you put those for the last four digits of your social in there. All right, and I'm going to go back and see if I have some questions. Do I have any questions, my friends? Dwayne has a question. What you got? Hold on for a second. Let me see what you have, Dwayne. Correct on us acting on your word, doers of that word. All right. Correct on us acting on your word, doers of that word. Okay. Thanks, Dwayne. How do you find your straw man? I started trying to locate mine a few years ago, but got distracted, and I'm just now revisiting, changing my status. Look at your driver's license. That's how you find it. Look at your passport. Look at your bills. There you go. The all whatever all capital letter name they are uh, they are using on those documents. There's your straw man right there. So the other thing is, yeah, that's where it is right there. Look at your social security card. That's where you'll find the straw man. But just a quick reference, pull your driver's license out if you have one. Pull any kind of ID out. Pull your credit card out. There's your straw man. If I have declared as more, do I or should I correct my status? Yeah, I mean, okay, here's the deal. I'm gonna say this and let me know when you're ready, sis. When it comes to the documents that a lot of people who I know that have dealt with the More group, they're not understanding what they put on public record. And the problem is that, again, it is not these documents that give you your freedom. Your knowledge of who you are is what gives you freedom. See, what you're going to understand, and I want y'all to start paying attention to these people who you see that are standing up for themselves and who are winning. It's not necessarily about the paperwork, because a lot of times when they have these encounters with these agents, they have to speak. And if they don't know what to say, then the agent is going to run all over them. So if you don't understand the documents that you have filed, you know, I've had people, I got a sister now who's had the, who was it? They came to try to repossess her house. They just broke in the house, broke the window, and she had to call them up. She had to speak to them. Now, all these documents are already on public record, but if she didn't know what to say to them, then they would have just kicked everybody out of her house, and that just would have been it. But she knew what to say. She knew how to challenge whatever documents, whatever warrants they were bringing in. If you don't know how to do that, and you don't know what you're standing on, then nothing you have is this paperwork is not going to work for you. This is just backup to your knowledge of self. All right. So as for the More deal, I would say if you don't understand what you filed, it doesn't hurt to put another document on record that's making it clear of who you say you are. Again, I've gone through, how I make my declarations, and how I declared a God of the original American people. Period. That's my status. And you can make yours say whatever you want to say, but please, when you're putting the stuff on public record, know what it is that you're filing. Otherwise, it's not going to work for you. You have to stand on it. All right, you got it. You got it ready, sis?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're gonna.
Yes, ma'am. Now,
go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off. Do I go ahead and change all of the debtor to debtors with an S?
With an S, yes.
Okay, all throughout the document, right?
All,
I can just do that.
All throughout the document.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
All right. Yeah, so that's it. Once you replace that debtors, let me know when we're ready to roll. All right. So again, this is the security agreement that we're going over and understanding what its purpose is. Right now, we're moving through the introduction phase of it. And if you all have not gotten it, check out my contract writing process. And it because it goes into these declarations and what most of these documents have. in common, how to write contracts and whatnot. But that's a good session to have as well. I talk about introductions and how to make them. All right, you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so here we go. Uh, Now, therefore, it is hereby agreed as follows, and this is the agreement. In consideration for the secured party agreeing to provide certain accommodations to debtors, inter alia, the secured party. Inter alia, I want you look that up. That means among other things, but I like for people to look these things up in these documents so they know what they're signing. All right, so we're going to go through this. Number one, constituting the source, origin, substance, and being, i.e., basis of pre-existing claim from which the existence of debtor was derived and on the basis of which the debtor is able to function as a transmitting utility to conduct commercial activities as a conduit for the transmission of goods and services to the secured party and to interact, contract, exchange goods, services, obligations, and liabilities with other debtors, corporations, and artificial persons in commerce. What are we talking about here? We just said that the debtor is to be used as a transmitting utility or as a entity, as a corporation to purchase goods and services. All right, to slide to to do whatever is needed to be done in the what I call the matrix, with that the secured party can do, use the debtor to do whatever it wants to do in the matrix to purchase things. All right, number two, signing by accommodation for debtor in all cases whatsoever wherein any signature of the debtor is required. So you would be the one signing for the debtor in when the debtor needs something to sign. Of course, the debtor is just like a puppet. You are the puppet. You are, excuse me, you're not the puppet. You're the one who's controlling the puppet. You're the puppet master. Number three, issuing a binding commitment to extend credit for the extension of immediate available credit, whether or not drawn upon or whether or not charged back, is provided for in the event of the difficulties of collection. Basically, you would, if you need credit or any other thing of the sort, you have the ability to sign and extend the credit of the debtor, providing the security for payment of all sums due or owing or become due or owing by debtor. And so if the debtor owes something, you are the one that's going to take care of uh, dealing with the debts of the debtor. All right, number five, constituting the source of assets via the sentient existence, exercise of faculties, and labor of the secured party that provide the valuable consideration sufficient to support any contract with debtor may execute, or which debtor may be regarded as bound by any person whatsoever. All right, just real quick, what this is saying is that when it's talking about valuable consideration, that's your autograph, because your autograph is money. So valuable consideration sufficient to support any contract, that's your autograph. Debtor hereby confirms that the security agreement is duly executed, signed, and sealed private contract entered into knowingly, intentionally, and voluntarily by debtor and secured party wherein and whereby debtor A, voluntarily enters debtor into the commercial registry. B, transfers and assigns to the secured party a secured interest in the collateral described here and below. So this is, once again, your all capital letter corporation, your debtor is signing over everything to the secured party, you, the real person. C, agrees to be, act, and function in law and commerce as the unincorporated proprietary trademark of the secured party for exclusive and discretionary use by secured party in any manner that the secured party by sovereign and unalienable rights elects. So whatever you want to do with this secured party, it just said you are the unincorporated proprietary trademark of the secured party. That's what that all capital letter name now is. This is where you just trademarked it right there.
It's deep, Empress. There's some power.
All right, good. I'm glad you like it. Now,
there's some power.
So, public lawful notice. Filing the security agreement by parties constitutes open, lawful, public notice that the law, venue, and jurisdiction of the security agreement is ratified, finalized, signed, sealed, private contract freely entered into by and between debtor and secured parties as registered herewith. I want to make this point. The law, venue, and jurisdiction of this security agreement. The law, venue. Understand what a court is. A court has four corners, right? The basketball court, your football field, which is a court, even, your quote unquote court of law. It's got four corners. It's a court. Like you playing on a court. Tennis court got four corners. Well, this paper, this document has four corners. You follow me? It's a court. This is a law, venue, and a jurisdiction. Because in this document, we're going to go over all of these laws. Once again, these are laws that you are creating as a secured party, as a sovereign, as a God. You understand? You are creating these and you're putting it into this law venue on this document. And it has jurisdiction that you have created that stands above any of these other corporations. Italy, United States, France, Argentina, Belize, all of them. All right. It's ratified and finalized, signed and sealed, private contract freely entered into between debtor and the secured party as registered herewith. This security agreement is contractually complete herein and herewith and cannot be abrogated, altered, or amended in whole or part without express written consent of both the debtor and the secured party. The debtor is the transmitting, and once again, we get ready to declare the copyright and trademark. The debtor, number 3, the debtor is the transmitting utility and unincorporated proprietary trademark of the secured party, and all property of debtor is secured property of the secured party. Number 4, any unauthorized use of debtor in any manner that might influence, affect, pertain to, or be presumed to pertain to the secured party in any manner is expressly prohibited without the consent or the written consent of the secured party. Okay? That right there, that's where you just trademarked it. Up above is where your corporation turned over everything that is in its name to you, the real person. Now we're getting ready to get into the money. This is a bond that is in this document, the fidelity bond. Know all men by these presents that debtors, you're going to put an S there for you, and you're going to put a list of those debtors there. Establish,
I did it.
All right. And you're going to say establish this bond in favor of the secured party, and you'll put the real person's name there. In the sum of present collateral value up to the penal sum of 100 million United States dollars, for the payment of which bond, well and truly made, debtor binds debtor and debtor's heirs, executors, administrators, and third party assigns jointly and severally by these presents. All right, you got all that in that first paragraph? You good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
I just need to list all of the debtors one time and where it started at.
yes.
No, okay, good.
Did you
All
do
right.
that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. The condition of the above bond is the secured party covenants to do certain things on behalf of the debtor as set forth in agreement and debtor with regard to conveying goods and services in commercial activity to the secured party. Covenants to serve and as a transmitting utility, therefore as assurance of fidelity grants to the secured party a security interest in the herein below described collateral. All right. So basically, the secured party is saying, or this that paragraph is just saying that the secured party is going to do certain things. It agrees to do certain things on behalf of the debtor, and that means to sign for things that the debtor needs to have signed. All right, this bond shall be in force and effect as of the date hereon and until the debtor's surety. Put there, it says John Henry Doe. You need to put your real person name there. Is released from liability by written order of the United States government and provided that said surety may cancel this bond and be relieved of further liability hereunder by delivering 30-day written notice to debtor. So if the secured party wants to get out of this, they're like, I just don't want to deal with this anymore. This bond is saying they can be released. No such cancellation shall affect any liability incurred or accrued hereunder prior to the termination of said 30-day period. In such event of notice cancellation, debtor agrees to reissue the bond before the end of said 30-day period for an amount equal or greater than the above stated value of the security agreement unless the parties agree otherwise. All right, that is kind of an indemnity paragraph within this bond. But we're going to get into this next one is an indemnity clause, and I'm going to explain what the purpose of this is, which is kind of goes back to what I said from the beginning about how you can walk away from this corporation at will. Well, this is just going to declare that you can walk away, but you could have walked away without this document. But let's go through it. Indemnity clause. Debtor, without the benefit of discussion or division, does hereby agree, covenant, and undertake to indemnify, defend, and hold the secured party harmless for and against any and all claims, losses, liabilities, costs, interest, and expenses herein and after referred to as claims or claim, which claims includes, without restriction, all legal costs, interest, penalties, and fines suffered or incurred by the secured party in accordance with the secured party's personal guarantee with respect to any loan or indebtedness of debtor, including any amount debtor might be deemed to owe to any creditor for any reason whatsoever. Going down to this next paragraph, the secured party shall promptly advise debtor of any claim and provide debtor with full details of said claim inter alia. Again, look that up. Copy of any document, correspondence, suit, or action received by or served upon the secured party. The secured party shall fully cooperate with debtor in any discussion, negotiation, or other proceeding relating to any claim. Now, let's understand this. Once again, this is a trust. This is a trust document. Now, as I said, this indemnity clause is saying that at any point, let's say something goes on where the secured party owes, or excuse me, the corporation, the straw man, ends up owing a lot of money, and just things get haywire. You can cut this off right away and walk away from it. Let's say something goes above the $100 million that's been declared. You can cut it off and walk away. Now, this also can be revised, this document here, and it can deal with an actual corporation, which your corporation is an actual corporation, but it can deal with a corporation with many people. So let me give an example. Let's say that you've got this corporation that has got 5 people in it, for example, and these people have just gone off and they're writing up all kind of bills. Oh, this one over here is, in this country doing some stuff with the social security number. This one's over here is doing some stuff with the social security number, and all this other stuff is going haywire with this all capital letter corporation. And you just say, you know what, that's it. I'm done with it. You can walk away from it as the sovereign. And you can say, I indemnify, because this indemnity clause indemnifies you from anything going on with that corporation. If somebody's buying up whatever they buying up, and you're like, I'm not, that's it. I'm not paying for that. And this gives you the indemnity. You follow what I'm saying? All right. So now let's go over the next section. Do you have any questions? Let me see if I have any questions about that. Once again, we are 1 hour and 45 minutes in to our 3-hour session. Let's see. Yes. Thank you so much, Allison. Thank you, Allison. Julito. Hello, Julito. Patrice, Sergio. Hello. All right. So we're going over the security agreement and what the purpose is of it. This, once again, is a private document. It does not go on public record. However, all of the laws are very much binding because we have made reference to this document in our security agreement. Let's turn Shonda K back on.
Now, what I wanted to ask is, I listed all of the names, all of the debtors. Right before the last one is listed, do I need to put "and" so to include it, or can it just be just a list?
Yeah, you can
all
put
the way to the end.
Yes, you can put "and." You can put "and," okay, and then put a period after the last one. Normally, when I'm separating that list like that, at the end of each line, I'm going to put a semicolon. So, and then at the on the last line, on the next to the last line, you can put that "and," and then write the last one, and then you put a period after the last one. That's normally how I document mine.
Okay, now even if it goes into a sentence, still put a period at the end, like it say, "and your majesty and all derivatives thereof." So if I put "and your majesty," period, that's gonna cut the sentence off.
Yeah, "and your majesty." Yeah, put a period at the end of the sentence.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, if I have any questions, once again, please put your questions in the box so that in the comment section, so that we can get to them before we get out of here. We thank you all for joining us and paying attention.
Yes, thank you.
Let me tell y'all something. Listen, I have to tell people this because people want to get things for free, and you got to pay for everything. You got to pay for everything. Either you're gonna, but there are different ways to pay. You can pay with Federal Reserve notes, or you can pay attention. And this is serious. Pay attention. You're paying attention because, again, none of this information there's no such thing as a free education. It's not free. You got to pay attention, meaning you got to get the information. You got to take it in. You got to process it. You got to be willing to sit down and understand what's going on. So, I get people coming at the last minute where they're in trouble with some situation with the law, and I need help. I don't have any money. Well, you're going to pay a lawyer to get you out of trouble. Or you're going to pay some kind of way. Pay attention so that you can get this information and help yourself out of the bind you're in. All right, let's continue with this straw man agreement and what it is going on. Now, this next section, I'm going to get you to read it, LaShonda, and I'm going to warn everybody, this section is long. This section is long. And so this is important. I have all of my clients to read this. If you don't read this but one time, you need to know what's in these documents. And this is why one of the things I talk about, even like with the Bible, it's an important document. Again, I'm not telling you to believe in God or no, it's not the perfect word of God. But what I am telling you is that read it so you at least know what's in it. So if you don't read this but one time, we're gonna read this, Shonda K, since this is your session. I'm gonna have you to read all of these next lines, because you need to see what's in this document. The secured interest. This is obligations secured. These are all of the things that your corporation is turning over to you, the real person. All right. The secured interest granted herein secured and any and all indebtedness and liability whatsoever of debtor to the secured party, whether direct or indirect, absolute or contingent, due or become due, now existing or hereinafter arising, and however evidence. All right. Collateral. All right. What I want you to do, Shonda, is I want you to start reading from here, and we're going all the way down to number 88. Go ahead and call those numbers out as you're. Oh yeah, you're gonna read this one. You're gonna read that.
I'm glad I know how to read.
I know that's right.
All right. Collateral. The collateral to which this security agreement pertains to, inter alia, all herein below described personal and real property of debtors, now owned or hereafter acquired by debtors, in which the secured party holds all debtors retains possession and use and rights to possessions and use, and all proceeds, products, accounts, and fixtures, and the orders therefrom are released to debtors. You want to explain what that is, Empress?
Okay.
What it's saying?
So let's what number we on?
Well, it was just the intro after collateral. You want me to go to number 1 and then you can?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so we're just talking about this intro. Basically, we're just saying that these are all of the things that the debtor could possibly own or could now or in the future, and that these are the things that are going to be turned over from the debtor to the real person. Now, understand, once you do that, once it belongs to the secured party, it can't be taken away. They try to take things from the debtor, but you can't. The system can't take anything from the real person. So, but yeah, so that and now this is a list of all of the things that the debtor is about to turn over, and this includes so many things. So I'm gonna stop you in between here, because some of these things we need to recognize. So go ahead.
All righty. Number 1, all proceeds, products, accounts, and fixtures from crops, mine head, wellhead with transmitting utilities, etc. Number 2, all rents, wages, and income. Number 3, all land, mineral, water, and air rights. Number 4, all cottages, cabins, houses, and buildings. Number 5, all bank accounts, bank safety deposit boxes, and the contents therein, credit card accounts, mutual fund accounts, certificates of deposit accounts, checking accounts, savings accounts, retirement plan accounts, stocks, bonds, securities, and benefits from trusts. Number 6, all inventory and ink source. Number 7, all machinery, either farm or industrial. Number 8, all aircraft, gliders, balloons, and all equipment, accoutrements, baggage, and cargo affixed or pertaining thereto, or sold therein. Inter alia, all motors, engines, ancillary equipment, accessories, parts, tools, instruments, electronic equipment, navigation aids, service equipment, lubricants, and fuel additives. Number 9, all aircraft, yachts, and watercrafts, and all equipment, accoutrements, baggage, and cargo affixed or pertaining thereto, stowed therein. Inter alia, all motors, engines, ancillary equipment, accessories, parts, tools, instruments, electronic equipment, navigation aids, service equipment, lubricants, and fuel additives. I was like, oh, did I read it twice? Okay, number 10, all motorhomes, trailers, mobile homes, recreational vehicles, house, cargo, and travel trailers, and all equipment, accoutrements, baggage, and cargo affixed or pertaining thereto or stowed therein. Inter alia, service equipment, lubricants and fuel additives. Number 11, all livestock and animals and all things required for their care, feeding, use, and husbandry thereof. Number 12, all vehicles, autos, trucks, four-wheel vehicles, trailers, wagons, motorcycles, bicycles, tricycles, wheel conveyances. Number 13, all computers, computer-related equipment and accessories, electronically stored files or data, telephones, electronic equipment, office equipment, and machines. Number 4, all visual reproduction systems, aerial reproduction systems, motion pictures, film, videotapes, audio tapes, soundtracks, compact discs, phonograph records, film, video, oral productions equipment, cameras, projectors, and musical equipment. Number 15, all manuscripts, booklets, pamphlets, treaties, treatments, monographs, stories, written material, libraries, plays, screenplays, lyrics, songs, music. Number 16, all books and records of debtors. Number 17, all trademarks, registered marks, proprietary data and technology, inventions, royalties, goodwill. Number 18, all scholastic degrees, diplomas, honors awards, meritorious citations. Number 19, all records, diaries, journals, photographs, negatives, transparencies, images, video footage, film footage, drawings, sound recordings, audio tapes, computer production, or storage of all kinds whatsoever of debtors. Number 20, all fingerprints, footprints, palm prints, thumbprints, RNA materials, DNA materials, blood and blood fractions, biopsy, surgically removed tissues, bodily parts, organs, hair, teeth, nails, semen, urine, other bodily fluids or matter, voice print, retinal image, and the descriptions thereof, and all other corporal identification factors and said factors, physical counterparts in any form, and all record numbers and information pertaining thereto. Number 21, all biometrics data, records, information, and processes not elsewhere described, the use thereof, and the use of the information contained therein or pertaining thereto. Number 22, all rights to obtain, use, request, or refuse or authorize the administrator of a food, beverage, nourishment, or water, or any substance to be infused or injected into or affecting the body by any means whatsoever. Number 23, all rights to request, refuse, or authorize the administration of any drug, manipulation, material, process, procedure, ray, or way which alters or might alter the present or future state of the body, mind, spirit, or will by any means process as well. Okay, we're back on it. I think I left off at number 24, Empress.
Yeah. The last part, spirit or will by any means, method, or process whatsoever. Yeah, 24.
Okay, number 24. All keys, locks, combinations, encryption codes, or keys, safes, secure places, and security devices, security programs, and any software, machinery, or devices related thereto. Number 25. All rights to access and use utilities upon payment at the same unit cost as the comparable units of usage offered to most favored customers, inter alia, cable, electricity, garbage, gas, internet, satellite, sewage, telephone, water, www, computer services, and all other methods of communication, energy transmission, and food or water distribution. Number 26. All rights to barter, buy, contract, sell, or trade ideas, products, services, or work. Number 27. All rights to create, invent, adopt, utilize, or promulgate any system or means of currency, money, medium, or exchange, coinage, barter, economic exchange, bookkeeping, record keeping, and the like.
Okay, so stop right there. Hold on for a second. One of the things I want to point out, especially with this one, notice, see, this is giving over all of the rights of the corporation to the real person as well. All of its rights is transferring. So we're saying the right to create, invent, adopt, utilize, and promulgate any system or means of currency. Again, this is becoming a law, that your law stands above theirs. So all this, well, you can't do this with money. What the? Yes, I can. I have the right to do that. This is a God-given right. So go ahead, number 28.
Indeed. Number 28, all rights to use any free, rented, leased, fixed, or mobile domicile as though same were a permanent domicile, free from requirement to apply for or obtain any government license or permission, and free from entry, intrusion, or surveillance by means, regardless of duration of lease period, so long as any required lease is currently paid or a subsequent 3-day grace period has not expired.
Okay, hold on right
Number
there.
29.
Hold on. Where you say free from requirement to apply or obtain any government license or permission, and free from entry or intrusion. This means this is my territory. This is my whole government. You don't even have authorization or jurisdiction unless I give it to you. And so when, for example, let's say there's a bus or whatever that your corporation has bought, that's a whole state right there. That's under a jurisdiction that is outside of their jurisdiction, as long as you haven't registered and turned it over to the state. Even then, it's still your jurisdiction, and they don't have the authority to come into it unless you give consent. All right. All right, number 29.
Number 29, all rights to marry and procreate children and to rear, educate, train, guide, and spiritually enlighten any such children without any requirement to apply for or obtain any government license, permit, certificate, or permission of any kind whatsoever. So is that one pretty much claiming the rights over your children?
Absolutely. Yeah. And this is how you also go and see this. The thing is, this is the kind of trust you would want to make for your marriage. And this is these women, y'all stuck on ridiculousness. I don't, I want to be nice about it. All this stuff, which he got to give me a marriage, and we got to have a certificate, honey, and I need to have it on paper. Well, don't take it. What you're doing is you're registering your marriage between you and him, and you're giving that corporation over to the state. So all of this stuff about a marriage between me and him and God, it ain't no, y'all just gave it to the devil. You understand? Because all of this stuff is being controlled by the Vatican. You can't get no closer to Satan than that. If you're really trying to have it between you and him and God, what you want to do is create this kind of a security agreement, create that declaration, put it on public record, and that is a law. Y'all are married, and it's going to go on public record. A lot of times they'll put it in the newspaper, sometimes they don't, but regardless of what, after it is what we call perfected, it is a law. Y'all are married, period. And y'all will create a will just like this. Y'all will create information in there where you're talking about what your kids, what you want to do with the children in the event of a divorce, in the event of death. You got to put that stuff in there. This is what we're talking about. We're saying govern ourselves. Y'all leave it to the government to govern your business. When you pass, nobody knows what you want the money to go to, where you want the house to go to. Nobody knows anything because you didn't declare it. Well, we're going to start governing self. So we don't have to have the state in our business. And so again, when you put this, you make this declaration, because again, when you go and turn your marriage over to the state, you're declaring that they have rights to your children. You've given the same way this thing says the corporation is turning over the children to you, the real person. That's the same way you do when you turn over your children to the state. Well, stop giving it to the state and give it back to your real person. So once you do this declaration, you're saying, no, the children are mine to do what I need to do, and enlighten them the way I feel they need to be enlightened. That's what you're declaring here. Yeah.
All righty. Number 30. All rights to manage, maneuver, direct, guide, or travel in any form of automobile or motorized conveyance whatsoever without any requirement to apply for or obtain any government license, permit, certificate, or permission of any kind whatsoever. Now, is that saying that we can just go, if I want to fly to Peru today, is this giving me permission to without presenting a passport?
Okay, so you're not supposed to have to present a passport to these people because by international law, you don't have to have some kind of document and identification. Now, they're going to make it difficult for you to do that. Now, let's say you're crossing from uh, Mexico or from the United States into Mexico, like they have that border patrol, and you're in your car. They're really not supposed to be able to stop you. You know, you should, you know, are you a United States citizen? Unless you say you're a United States citizen, then you've said I'm property. So then, yeah, they need to, they have the right to ask you, okay, well then let me see your ID. But if you're letting them know I'm not a United States citizen, I'm a human being, you don't have authority over me, then they're not supposed to stop you.
Say when you're asked, are you a United States citizen? You tell them that you're a sovereign?
I'm not a United States citizen. No, that's all you need to say. You don't need to be giving them no explanation.
I can't hear you, Empress.
Okay, can you hear me now? You're not a United States citizen. Can you hear me? Hello? Oh, you got a bad connection. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me make sure my volume is up. I didn't turn it down. All right. So what I'm saying is, you're just saying I'm not a United States citizen. That's all that they need to know. I'm not a United States citizen. And if you use terms, let me say this since you said sovereign, because I know you didn't use the other word. But don't be talking about I'm a sovereign citizen, because there's no such thing as a sovereign citizen. A sovereign is a person who is a master of self. They're a master. A citizen is a slave. You're saying you're a citizen, you're a slave. You're not going to be no God and a slave at the same time. Which one are you? So when you're telling them that, you can say, yeah, I'm a sovereign, but you don't have to say that because they try to put a negative connotation on the term. Oh, she said she was a sovereign citizen. I didn't tell you that. So you just basically, I told you I'm not a United States citizen, period. And you're not supposed to be stopped. Now, you got to know you got to know the law, because that's when you're challenged. They don't care about what your birth certificate say. They're not looking at your status. They're not looking at, they want to know, do you know the law? And if you can't stand on what you know, then you're gonna catch hell trying to get through the border without some kind of passport. But they're not supposed to stop you by law. By law, you're not. Look, this is okay. Even going back to the Bible, it's a very important document because we're talking about the laws of Maxim, and the laws of Maxim will state that first of all, you don't have to enter any contract. So when they're trying to get you to show your ID and do all this other stuff, they're trying to get you to enter a contract, and you don't have to show them anything. That by universal or laws of Maxim, nobody can force you into a contract. So yes, they're being illegal with a lot of these things that they're trying to force you to do. They're being illegal. But that's when we have to know how to stand on the laws, because if we don't ever challenge them, they're going to continue to do it. If we don't start suing them, they're going to continue to do it. So yeah, that's what it's talking about. No, you're not supposed to have international laws stating it, laws of Maxim, which are the highest laws, which really universal laws are the highest, but laws of Maxim are higher than, that's what every law on the land is derived from, laws of Maxim. And I don't care what lawyer you talk to, what country you go to, what state, what judge you talk to, they're always going to tell you the laws of Maxim are supreme everywhere around this planet, and they come directly from the Bible, or whether you want to use the Quran, or what they all come from the same place. They all come from the same place. Doesn't matter what you want to use. They respect these religious documents. And I'm not telling you to believe in nothing. I'm saying know what they are so that you can use them to your advantage. So let me say this again. I'm not telling you to believe in anything. I'm just saying to know what they are so that you can use them to your advantage. All right. You ready? What number we on?
We're on number 31.
Okay.
All rights to buy, sell, trade, grow, raise, gather, hunt, tap, angle, and store food, fiber, and raw material for shelter, clothing, and survival. Number 32. All rights to exercise freedom of religion, worship, use of sacraments, spiritual practice, and expression without any abridgment of free speech, or the right to publish, or the right to peaceable assembly, or the right to petition government for redress of grievances, or petition any military force of the United States for physical protection from threats to the safety and integrity of person or property from either public or private sources. Number 33. All rights to keep and bear arms for self-defense of self, families, and parties, and treating the physical protection of person or property. Number 34. All rights to create, preserve, and maintain inviolable spiritual sanctuary and receive into the same any and all parties requesting safety and shelter. Number 35. All rights to create documents of travel of every kind whatsoever. Inter alia, those signifying diplomatic status and immunity as a free, independent, and sovereign state in fact.
Read it again.
36.
Read that again. That's
Number
very
35.
important.
Number 35. Indeed. All rights to create documents of travel of every kind whatsoever, inter alia, those signifying diplomatic status and immunity as a free, independent, and sovereign state in fact.
Mm-hmm. You have the right to create your own document. We call those allodial documents. And the thing is, we get into wanting, I got a whatever, driver's license. I got a passport with this and that and that. You can create your own document. You can create your own nation. Again, all of this, we just don't understand that the United States Corporation is nothing but a corporation. You have the ability to stand. As a matter of fact, you do. When you put laws, you have the ability to create your own countries and corporations and nations on your own and operate on your own.
Indeed.
Okay. 30, what?
36. All claims of ownership or certificates of title to be corporeal and incorporeal, hereditary succession, and all innate aspects of being, i.e., mind, body, soul, free will, faculties, and self. Number 37. All rights to privacy and security in person and property, inter alia, all rights to safety and security of all household or sanctuary dwellers or guests, and all papers and effects belonging to debtors or any household or sanctuary dwellers or guests against governmental, quasi-governmental, or private intrusion, detainer, entry, seizure, search, surveillance, trespass, assault, summons, or warrant, except with proof of superior claim duly filed in the commercial registry by any such intruding party in the private capacity of such intruding party.
You can't come in unless I give you permission. Say it again.
Okay, we're on number 37.
Yeah, well, just say it.
From the top, or just pick up where I left off.
No, just pick up where it's
Okay.
registry.
Okay.
Yeah, commercial registry.
It must be filed in the commercial registry by any such intruding party in the private capacity of such intruding party, notwithstanding whatsoever purported authority, warrant, order, law, or color of law may be promulgated as the authority for any such intrusion, detainer, entry, seizure, search, surveillance, trespass, assault, summons, or warrant.
Yeah, you can't come in.
38. Right.
Go ahead, 38.
Number 38. All names used and all corporations sole execution and filed, or to be executed and filed under said names. Number 39. All intellectual property, all speaking and writing. Number 40. All signature and seals. Number 41. All present and future retirement incomes and rights to such incomes issuing from any of all debtor accounts. Number 42. all present and future medical and healthcare rights and rights owned through survivorship from any of debtor's accounts. Number 43, all applications, filings, correspondence, information, identifying marks, image, license, or travel documents, materials, permits, registrations, and record numbers held by any entity for any purpose, however acquired, as well as the analysis and uses thereof, and any use of any information and images contained therein, regardless of creator, method, location, process, or stored form, inter alia, all process algorithms, compressing, displaying, identifying, processing, storing, or transmitting said applications, filings, correspondence, information, identifying marks, image licenses, or travel documents, materials, permits, registrations, and record numbers, and the like. Number 44, all library cards. Number 45, all credit card, charge, and debit cards, and mortgages, notes, applications, card numbers, and association and information. Number 46, all traffic citations, tickets. Number 47, all credit of debtors. Number 48, all parking citations, tickets. Number 49, all court cases and judgments, past, present, and future, in any court whatsoever, and all bonds, orders, warrants, and other matters attached thereto or derived therefrom. Number 50, all precious metals, bullion, coins, jewelry, precious jewels, semi-precious stones, mounts, and any storage boxes within which said items are stored. Number 51, all tax correspondence, filings, notices, coding, record numbers, and any information contained therein, wherever and however located, and no matter by whom said information was obtained, compiled, codified, recorded, stored, analyzed, processed, communicated, or utilized. Number 52, all bank accounts, bonds, certificates of deposit, drafts, futures, insurance policies, investment securities, individual retirement accounts, money market accounts, mutual funds, notes, options, puts, calls, pension plans, savings accounts, stocks, warrants, and the like. Number 53, all accounts, deposits, escrow accounts, lotteries, overpayments, prepayments, prizes, rebates, refunds, returns, treasury direct accounts, claimed and unclaimed funds, and all record number correspondence and information pertaining thereto or derived therefrom. Number 54, all cash, coins, money, United States Treasury notes, and silver certificates. Number 55, all drugs, herbs, medicine, medical supplies, cultivated plants, growing plants, inventory, ancillary equipment, supplies, propagating plants, seeds, and all related storage.
Okay, Shonda. Okay, Shonda, hold up for 1 second. All right, hold up for 1 second. You're breaking up. But listen, this is what I want to say. We're here with Shonda K. We're going through her session with her on, what we do to declare our status and put things on public record and how it's done. Once again, we're in the security agreement and going over now all of the things that the corporation is turning over to the real person. Now, I have, once again, when we go through this, I have my clients to read everything on this list. Why? Because if you don't hear this but one time, you need to know what's in this document. I don't just have you signing these documents and putting your name on it and then filing them and know what you're standing on. That's one of the big things I see about people who file documents and they're pissed off about whatever they paid for it because they feel that they're still not free. Well, you're not free because you don't have the knowledge of what you're signing and what you're putting on record. So for me, my thing is, if you don't read this but one time, you're going to read it before you sign it and know what's in it. And that's what we want to get into the habit of doing with everything, even when we're talking about, the mortgage, because they're going to pull you in there. And they're going to rush you through this whole book of documents, and you're never going to read any of it. They just want you to sign. And I understand it's a cumbersome deal, but we need to learn how to get into reading things that we're signing and understanding what's in them with respect to contracts, so we can know how to take it out and go with what we like. All right, so we just have to get in the habit of reading things. That's why I'm having her to read all of these, because this is what I do with anyone who I'm doing a session with, and I make sure they know what's in the document so that we can know what we're standing on. If you don't have the knowledge, you're not going to be able to stand on this stuff. All right. And also, if you have any questions, put them in the comment section, because I would love to answer them before we get out of here. Once again, our sessions are normally 3 hours. And, you know, this one right here, we're going to go through this, and then we're going to move into shortly after and go through that. But yeah, this is a lot of information to know. This is like what I take people through with my university. This is the university you in now. You're getting to sit inside the class right now. So I hope you're appreciating it. This is on behalf of LaShonda K. She wanted us to go live with this. So, I'm obliging her on this. But I hope y'all are, really getting this stuff and appreciating that you're sitting inside the university right now. All right, sis, keep going.
Thank you so much, Empress. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, we're on number 56. Yes, ma'am. All products of and for agriculture and all equipment, inventory, supplies, contracts, accoutrements involved in the planting, tilling, harvesting, processing, preservation, and storage of all products of agriculture. Number 57, all farm, lawn, and irrigation equipment, accessories, attachments, hand tools, implements, service equipment, parts and supplies and storage sheds and contents. Number 58, all fuel tanks, containers, and involved or related delivery systems. 59, all metalworking, woodworking, and other such machinery, and all ancillary equipment, accessories, consumables, power tools, hand tools, inventories, storage cabinets, toolboxes, workbenches, shops, and facilities. Number 60, all camping, fishing, hunting, and sporting equipment, and all special clothing, materials, supplies, and baggage related thereto. Number 61, all rifles and guns and related accessories and ammunition and the integral components thereof. Number 62, all radio, televisions, communication equipment, receivers, transceivers, transmitters, and antennas, and towers, and all ancillary equipment, supplies, computers, software programs, wiring, and related accoutrements and devices. Number 63, all power generating machines or devices and all storage, conditioning, control, distribution, wiring, and ancillary equipment pertaining or attached thereto. Number 64, all computers and computer systems and the information contained therein, as well as all ancillary equipment, printers, and data compression or encryption devices. Number 65, all office and engineering equipment, furniture, ancillary equipment, drawing tools, electronic and paper files, and items thereto. Number 66, all water wells and all well drilling equipment, and all ancillary equipment, chemicals, tools, and supplies. Number 67, all shipping, storing, and cargo containers, and all chassis, trick trailers, vans, and the contents thereof, whether on site, in transit, or in storage anywhere. Number 68, all building materials and prefabricated buildings, and all components or materials pertaining thereto, before or during manufacture, transportation, storage, building, erection, vacancy while awaiting occupancy thereof. Number 69, all communications and data and the methods, devices, and forms or information stored and retrieval, and the products of any such stored information. Number 70, all books, drawings, magazines, manuals, and reference materials, regardless of its form. Number 71, all artwork, paintings, etchings, photographic art, lithographs, and all frames and mounts pertaining or affixed thereto. Number 72, all food and devices, tools, equipment, vehicles, machines, and related accoutrements involved in food preservation, preparation, growth, transport, and storage. Number 73, all construction machinery and all ancillary equipment, supplies, materials, fuels, fuel additives, supply materials, and service equipment pertaining thereto. Number 74, all medical, dental, optical, prescription, and insurance records, record numbers, and information contained in any such records or pertaining thereto. Number 75, the will of debtors. Number 76, all inheritances gotten or to be gotten. Number 77, all wedding bands and rings, watches, wardrobe, and toiletries. Number 78, all household goods and appliances, linen, furniture, kitchen utensils, cutlery, tableware, cooking utensils, pottery, antiques. Number 79, all businesses, corporations, companies, trusts, partnerships, limited partnerships, organizations, proprietorships, and the like, now owned or hereafter acquired, and all books, records thereof, and therefrom, all income therefrom, and all accessory accounts, equipment, information, inventory, money, spare parts, and computer software pertaining thereto. Number 80, all packages, parcels, envelopes, or labels of any kind whatsoever which are addressed to or intended to be addressed to debtors, whether received or not received by debtors. Number 81, all telephone numbers. Number 82, any property not specifically listed, named, or specified by make, model, serial number, etc., is expressly herewith included as collateral of debtors.
Well, there we go. All 82 of them. All right. So once again, those are all the things that the debtor is turning over, not included, but not limited to those things that the debtor is turning over to the real person. Advisory, all instruments and documents referenced, itemized above are accepted for value with all related endorsements front and back in accordance with UCC 3-419. I want you to look that up when you get a chance. And House Joint Resolution 192 of June 5th, 1933. That is the resolution where it's stating there is no money. And this document is standing on that UCC or that law and that resolution as well. Charitable and bankruptcy, let's see. The security agreement is accepted for value, property of the secured party, and not dischargeable in bankruptcy court as the secured party's property is exempt from third-party levy. I'm going to say that again so we don't miss it. This security agreement is accepted for value, property of the secured party, and is not dischargeable in bankruptcy court as the secured party's property is exempt from third-party levy. The security agreement supersedes all previous contracts or security agreements between debtor and the secured party. All right. Going down, debtor agrees to notify all debtors, former creditors, would-be creditors, and any would-be purchasers of any herein described collateral of the security agreement, and such personages are expressly so noticed herewith. The security agreement devolves on the secured party's heirs and assigns who are equally as authorized upon taking title to the security agreement as the secured party hold and enforce said security agreement via non-negotiable contract, device, or any lawful commercial remedy. Default. The following shall constitute the events of default under failure of debtor to pay any debt secured hereby when due, failure of debtor to perform any obligation secured hereby when required to be performed, any breach of any warranty by debtor contained in the security agreement, or any loss of damage, expense, or injury accruing to secured party by virtue of transmitting utility function of debtor. Now, once again, all of that is talking about, let's say, again, you have several people in your corporation. If you have this same security agreement set up for a corporation with many people, let's say they just get out of hand and you can't deal with them, and they've done all kind of things where they're not signing for things that they're supposed to sign for, what have you. You have the authority, the ability to just step away from all of it. All right. It's written in this document, but it is also it's just a law. Once you know law, you don't have to deal with that corporation any longer. All right. hold on. All right, there we go. Now going down to it, notice the principal is notice the agent, notice the agent is notice the principal. Here, what we're talking about is, again, you know, in some cases you'll have an agent, and then if of course if they notify you, they're going to be notifying the agent, and if they notify the agent, then they're notifying you. Applicable to all successors and assigns signatures. The secured party execute the security agreement certified and sworn on the secured party's unlimited liability, true, correct, and complete, and accepts all signatures in accordance with UCC 3-419. Once again, look that up. All right, notice here, all right, on the left, we've got John Henry Doe, the debtor, is signing. That's going to be your all capital letter corporation. That's the debtor. That's the puppet. And that's where you're going to sign under there for that debtor or debtors. As a matter of fact, you have a list. So you put your list there, debtors, and you know, if you can have a different signature for each one of them. So you just put different lines, and you would have your signature for each one of them.
So I need to sign for each one.
Right. And now on the right, notice on the right, it says John Henry Doe. This is upper lowercase secured party. Well, here is where you're going to be autographing as a creditor. Now, there's a difference between a signature and an autograph. As creditors, we autograph, and the autograph is like, it's almost like print with an attitude is what I call it. It's like, you know, your D might have a little bit of a swag to it. You know, your S might have a, you know, instead of it's curved, you might have some points on it, whatever. But it's like print with an attitude. You just put a little bit of a personality on your print. You understand? That's what an autograph. That's what an autograph is. And that's going to, again, notice how the secured party is signing on the right or autographing on the right, and the debtor is signing on the left. All right. So now make sure you put your real person name where it says John Henry Doe Secured Party. Your real person name goes there. Now, as we're getting,
okay, so now,
go ahead.
with all of the lines, because I've got 16 debtors. So do I do 16 lines underneath all the names, or do I do it under each name?
You can do it however, whichever one. You can just put you can put a list of the names there, and then you can put a line next to it if you want. However you want to do it. You put a line.
But I need six. Do I need 16 lines, 16 signatures, or can I just do one line for all 16?
If you want to stack them up on top of each other, the ideal thing would be to do is to, when you list them out, like if you list them in a listed form, next to it, put a line there and sign next to each one of them.
Okay. All right.
All right. And so here, down here, it says acknowledgement county. All right. So you'll put the county that you're in, whatever your county is, the state, province, whatever state. Actually, all of this is going to be done by your notary. Your notary knows what to do right there to sign, to autograph that. Now, let's notice something, because down here you have a notary. What a lot of people don't understand is that notaries, they really stand higher than a judge. They are dealing with the county, and they become like an agent for the county to some degree. And again, the county is the highest governing agency on the land. And so you want, when you deal with a notary, really has more authority than a judge. And so once the notary notarizes this document, and they put their seal on it, and you put your seal on it, and you should be putting a thumbprint on this as well, touching your signature. Once you do that, this becomes money. This contract is lit, as they would say. So now, once you've done that, this fidelity bond kicks in, and it's very much valuable. It holds the value of what it says in this document.
Okay, now do you put the thumbprint on everything you sign from here on out?
I would say yes. And see, for me, like with Diva LaRue has a seal. Diva LaRue is actually a nation. And so there's a seal for it. And I always put my seal or and my flag on any document that I'm doing with here. And that represents my seal. But your thumbprint can represent your seal as well. So I do both. I have the thumbprint and the seal.
Okay. Now, my document kind of got messed up a little bit at the bottom. Does the person who do the notary, do they sign on the left or the right? Do I need to put it back in the middle?
Normally the notaries are signing on the left.
Okay.
Normally all the notary information is to the left.
And what about the line where it says my commission expires?
Yeah,
that's that go?
To the left.
Okay.
To the left, to the left.
Okay.
So, yeah, okay. So now, all right, so that's the security agreement. Once again, in this document, what it has done is we have, number one, the corporation has turned over everything to the secured party. That's number one. Number two, we have the copyrighted and trademark the corporation name in this document. Number three, there's a bond in this document. Number four, we've defined all of the laws of this trust in this document. So this is a trust. Again, it does not go on public record. It is referenced in your declaration. So now you have the security agreement. Now, let's go on to the, if you have any questions, do you have any questions on that, LaShonda?
In the beginning, where it says, where the security agreement number SA-1980, where it says secured party and the straw man, will make it straw mans with an S, or is it just singular?
Men.
Straw man, okay.
All right. So I'm going to do, yeah, so that'll be straw man. Once again, if you have any questions, please put them in the box. Thank you all for joining us. And I hope you're getting some good information from this session. This is Shonda K's session. She wanted to go live with it. So that's what we're doing. And,
thank you.
Thank her because, she wanted to do this. So I'm helping her through her session, and you get to see me help her as we walk her through getting her documents so that she can put all of this on public record. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I have any comments. Please, if you have any comments, put them in the comment section because I want to get to them before I get out of here. I don't want to. And Julito, thank you so much. I appreciate you for even watching and wanting to know this information. So now we're coming down to the third part. And this is the UCC1. Let me know when you have that UCC1 open. Now, what you're going to have to do is to download a UCC1 from Florida.
Okay.
So you would you can just do a simple Google search and Google Florida UCC 1. Uh, 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 let's see if I can pull it up here. And yeah, so now I've sent you a sample, but what you want to have is you want to have one from your state because this sample is different and this is an older version and they tend to update their UCC forms. So you can pull down the UCC from your state.
And so the Florida UCC one should be a document, right?
Yes, it's going to be a document, and you're going to be able to, yeah. Did you find it?
Yeah, just opening it up.
All right. All right, let me know when you have it open. So let me explain while you're opening that what the UCC1 is. The UCC1 is a lien on your all capital letter corporation. So let's understand what a lien is. Now, the example I use is where, let's say there's a painter who goes to paint a house. And once they're done painting the house, they tell the homeowner, okay, this house is going to be $2,000 for this paint job. And the owner decides, well, no, I don't want to pay you $2,000. Well, now the painter has the ability to go and put a lien on the house for $2,000, which is what is owed to him for the paint job on the house. And so now the homeowner cannot sell that house until they pay that painter $2,000 first. So now if the painter is good enough, he can go ahead and get a whole a lien. Get a well, that is the lien, but he can actually foreclose on the house for the $2,000. All right. This is the same way they foreclose on your house with a tax lien. All right. And the thing about a lien is first in line is first in time is first in line. So whoever has their lien down first, that's who has to be serviced first if the property is sold off. So again, a lien is where somebody is, they're claiming interest in the property. And then until that interest is addressed or paid, nobody can do anything with that property. Well, understand that a warrant for your arrest is a lien on your corporation. That's all it is. That somebody's going and putting a lien on your corporation. And so then they go and look for your corporation. They're asking for the all capital letter name. And those of us who don't know any better, we pulling out a driver's license, talking about this is me, I'm the all capital letter corporation. So they take your body because you're claiming to be the all capital letter corporation. You're claiming to be property. And so that's why they take your vessel. Well, the deal is that when you put your lien down first, well, they got to service you first. So when we put this lien worth of billions and millions of dollars down, and we're saying, no, well, our lien is first. Well, they got to service you need to pay me my millions and billions of dollars first before you can even service your warrant for my arrest for whatever this traffic ticket is. And first of all, it's not my arrest, it's on my account. But I don't claim to be that account. And even if I did, you still got to pay me my millions and billions of dollars before you can do anything with my corporation. That's how the game works. And so we're going to put down our lien because it's going to be first in line, or first in time because it's first in line, or is it first in line because it's first in time? That's what we're doing. That's what this UCC1 document is to put down a lien. Now let's understand something about this before I go into it. These liens are filed with the county, and you can also file one with the state. So let's understand, when you file this with the state, that is a notice of a lien. But when you file it with the county, that is the actual lien. So I always have my people to go, once again, you're going to have normally I tell them to do 4 copies of these. And you're going to take one is for the county, another one is for the state, and then one is for your poor man's copyright, and the other one is for your reference copy. All right. And this is interesting. I'm looking at this Florida Commercial Code financial. So that's what this document is for. You are putting a lockdown on your corporation. Nobody should be touched. It's already copyrighted. It's already declared that it's yours. Now you're putting the lockdown with the financial side of it, where you say you need to pay me first before you, because I'm gonna give you the story real quick about how this works. Like there's a guy who had a dog that, for whatever reason, his dog kept getting looser, and the pound would pick him up. And so he went and put his dog on a UCC1 financing statement, and he declared the dog, and I forget how much he put on it. Maybe it was, I would just say $200,000 he put on the dog. And when he declared it, so at any rate, his dog ends up back at the pound for whatever reason. It got out, and so he goes to the pound to pick up his dog, and they're trying to tell him, well, you need to pay $200 to get the dog. And so he pulls out his UCC financing statement. He's like, no, you need to pay $200,000 or you need to give me my dog back. And so they had to give him his dog back. And so how do you enforce that UCC1 document? Well, once you do that, again, remember the sheriff is the highest agent on the land, not the police, not nobody. The sheriff is. And so when you're talking about land, your dog would be land. Anything that's of the land, which would be any element, it is of the land, and the sheriff deals with it. If you've declared it as your property, that's the sheriff's job. It is his responsibility to now protect your property, your land. So that's who you go and get, the sheriff. If she was to say, well, no, you got to pay us $200 and we're not going to get it, then you go get the sheriff, and she's going to have to turn your property over to you. It's the same thing with your child. It's the same thing with you. If the agents come at you and they're talking about, we have a warrant for your arrest, well, and they're trying to arrest you, you got to know what to say. You got to know how to stall them. You got to know to say, the sheriff needs to get involved, and it's his job. This is why when these people don't want to act, you get their name, you get their bond number, and you get their oath of office, because they have a responsibility to you as the human being to make sure they protect you and your property, because that's what they deal with, is land. You are land. Your house is your land. Your dog and all your other property, that's your land. That's your property. That's why they work for the county. The county counts things. They keep records of things. And the sheriff is the one responsible to make sure that you are protected. He is a federal agent. And by law, they must protect your property and your rights. And by the way, your rights are property. You have any questions?
Now, would I fill out a UCC, because I see they let you put 2 debtors on there. So do I fill out one for each of the capitalized, which would be, I think, a total of about 6?
Yeah, you can put 2 of them.
So I don't do them for everything that's in caps?
Just the ones that are in caps. You don't have to do it for the upper and lower case, just the ones that are in caps. So, all right, going back to this, I want you to look at the sample. Do you have the sample pulled up?
Yeah.
Because when we're looking at the sample, we're seeing where it says send acknowledgement to. And Yeah. So it says send acknowledgement to, and I want you to notice how they have set that up with the in care of where it says C/O, and then it has the address. Once again, remembering that you're going to spell everything out. You're going to make sure that whatever state you put there, you're going to spell it out, and you're going to put republic behind it. You're going to say non-domestic without the U.S., and you're going to say you can say you don't have to put the ZZZ, but you could put zip code exempt. So let me know when you've done that. And if you, once again, we are in this session with Shonda K. We've gone over the declaration. This is once again declaring your status. We've gone over the declaration. We've gone over the security agreement. And now we're in the UCC1 financing statement. And we're filling that out. Once again, when I get with my clients, we're gonna go through this. We're gonna take the time to make sure it's done, because once I'm done, I want you to be going to your notary and taking this to the county to put it on public record. But there's a couple of steps after this. But again, my sessions normally last about 3 hours. We're heading into that now. But I want to go through this real quick so that we can at least wrap this session up on knowing what the three documents are. Okay, so there's your declaration, your security agreement, and your UCC1 financing statement. So you got that in. I want you to go ahead and start filling in under send acknowledgement to, fill in your real person name and put the address there. And let me know when you have that.
Okay, I'm on a PDF, so I'm not able to edit.
Okay.
Right now.
All right. So when you get this on your computer,
yes,
go ahead and do that. And so, at any rate, let's go through this, because the next thing you'll see is debtor's full legal name, the debtor's full legal name. So this is going to go under organization's name. All right. And you're going to put that name of that all capital letter corporation there. And then if you have two, you could put it all capital letter name under two. And then actually you don't need to do 6 of them. There's a form, it's an addendum where you can include another one. As a matter of fact, let me see on here. Yeah, there's an addendum where you can include several more. And you'll be able to find that when you go to your, let me see if I can see it here. No, I don't. Okay.
So I'll download the addendum.
Yeah. So where you can put more than one or more than two. So at any rate, here we go. Try this again.
So this will be sent in. This document, along with the business declaration, is what's going to be sent in.
You don't want to send it in. You want to take it in. Now that's the other thing. I just really encourage my clients to not send this stuff in, because they'll try to send it back and keep your money or send your money. No, you got to, again, you got to be a little bit forceful with these people, because they're not, what you're doing is something very, very powerful. You got to put laws on the record. And a lot of times you're going to have blocking, and you got to be strong. This is that part where I get a lot of people, they fear this part, because there are, how do you say it? There are tests all along the way when you're trying to, declare your status and put this stuff on record. There are tests constantly. And this is one of the ones where people really get scared. They got to go in there. They've got to tell these people, you're going to file this. And not only are you going to file this, you're going to do it for free. And then you're going to not only do it for free, you're going to stamp all these. This is intimidating. We don't want this to be intimidating. We need you to stand, because this is the part that really needs to be done. So yeah, I say walk this in, because you're going to, in a lot of cases, get pushback. If you can't walk it in, have somebody else to walk it in. But you know, you want to, like I said, if you have to file it where you are, file it where you are, and then when you get to back to the states, file it in a whatever. But you want to walk this in, and you're gonna have to be a little bit about making them put it on public record.
Okay, so can you go over where everything needs to be walked into again? I know you said the post office.
Yeah, they yeah, I didn't say the post office. I said the county clerk. All of these documents, the UCC one is to be filed with the county clerk. The declaration is to be filed with the county clerk. The UCC one can also be put on record with the state as well, for notice. But that's a notice. When you put it on record with the state, that is a notice of a lien. When you put it on record with the county, that is the actual lien. So once again, you're going to have 3 copies of your declaration made. You make 3 copies of that. One is for the county. One is for your poor man's copyright. And then the other one is for your reference copy. Because when you get that poor man's copyright in the mail, you're not going to open it. The UCC1 financing statement, there are documents that go with this, and we're going to have to go over that at another time. But there are documents that go with this UCC1's financing statement, which includes a fee schedule. You're going to include your birth certificate. You're going to copies of your birth certificate. You're going to include a copy of your passport or any ID that you have. Anything else that's identifying, you're going to include that in this UCC financing statement. So those are the things that are going. So what you're going to do is make 4 copies of these. Once again, you're going to get the county to stamp all 4 copies of them. And you're going to leave one for the county, one is for the state, one is for your poor man's copyright, and the other one is for your reference copy. So, I mean, again, this is, getting all this stuff done it takes time. It's weeks of understanding what we're doing and what's going on. I'm not going to rush you through this with paperwork, and then you're not understanding what you're standing on. So, but yeah, we'll go over that other, those, because on number 4, when you get down to number 4, this financing statement, and the covers the following collateral. I want you to be doing this as I'm telling it to you. I can tell you about it, but I want you to be doing it, because that's a little bit complex. One thing about me, I can't stand doing stuff over. I hate it. That drives me crazy. So, at any rate, I want you to be doing this. So the next time we're on this, I want you to be doing it so that we can put this into motion with this financing statement. With this UCC1 financing statement. So there are a couple of things, but let me say this before we get out of here. I talk about the poor man's copyright. With the poor man's copyright, what that is for is, see, I have my people, normally when we're doing this phase, this is how we are setting up an actual nation, like your own nation with your own federal ID number, because you got to understand what the United States Corporation has done is when your mother signs that birth certificate and she signs whatever other documents that she signs. See, all hospitals have a post office. Again, post offices are federal jurisdiction. So when you send something through the post office, you've put it under federal jurisdiction. So what they're doing is they get these registered mail numbers, which deal with the federal government, and then they're going to send those through the post office. Well, this is how they create your Social Security number, but they don't give you that number. They give you a derivative of that number. They're just sending a poor man's copyright back to themselves. So they're keeping that federal number, and then they're giving you a derivative of that so that you can be up under their corporation. Well, you could have done that yourself and been your own nation. And that's what we're doing. Normally, when we do this, I have people, we're going to create our own nation. We're doing a flag, we're doing a seal, we're doing a constitution. You understand? And we're putting that on record too. And we are creating our own passports. And then that federal number is what we're going to use as the passport number. So we are declaring this because what you have done is created a whole new person, but that's a more advanced topic. This 101 right here, this 101. And so of the university. So this, but just giving you an idea and understanding of, where you can go with this once you understand what you're doing and putting these things into play in this system. So again, we're putting this stuff on public record, but we're also putting it under federal jurisdiction. When it goes under federal jurisdiction, all federal agents must protect it. A sheriff is a federal agent. Why? Because he's paid by the federal government. All these judges, they're federal agents, but we're gonna have to start suing them. When they're not doing their job, we got to get their oath, we got to get their name, we got to get their button number, and we have to sue them. They're gonna either be shut down or they're gonna do us right. All right. So if anybody I'm about to close up here. If y'all have any questions, please let me know. And once again, if you want, the documents, let me know. Hit me in the inbox. If y'all want to do a donation, I love you. I appreciate you. Go to DivaLarie.com. DIV to the ALYRI.com. DivaLarie.com. 1A. That's 1A, y'all. DivaLarie. That's Facebook made me put these 2 A's on it. So I went, that's another story. DivaLarie.com. 1A. DIV to the ALYRI, no space.com. And y'all want to do a donation, please go there. And then I'll be glad to send you whatever. If y'all want to set up some sessions, y'all want to become a client, let me know. Let's do this. I'll be glad to help you out. All right. Let's see. You don't have to pay taxes now. They are voluntary. Okay, right. That's right. Mario, maybe I missed the part about paying taxes. Yeah, you missed it because it wasn't in here. However, we are filed all our documents. We do not have to pay federal or state taxes. If you want to, you can. You can sign it and volunteer and send them money. And yeah, you want to. But if you don't want to volunteer, then you don't have to pay it. But you have to know how to stand now, because they'll come at you. And if you don't know what you're standing on, you're going to be upside down in their system. They're going to have you in court. If you're in court, they know you don't know who you are. They're going to send you a summons. We're summoning you to court. And you're not going to, if you don't know what to do with this contract, they just sent you a contract. This is why, go see my session on writing contracts. See that session, because we need to start recognizing contracts. Because they're going to send you a summons. They're going to say, hey, you didn't pay taxes. And you're going to say, you probably won't even answer. And you know what you did when you don't answer? You just agreed to pay them taxes. By tacit agreement. Look up tacit assent, TACITASSENT, or tacit, TACIT agreement. Look it up and understand that we need to learn how to respond to these contracts when they're sending them to us. You don't have to contract with them. This is what God said. Again, y'all better learn these laws of maxim. Get on that Bible. I know some of y'all just, because only less than 2% of us have actually read the book, and a smaller percentage of that even know what it's talking about. Get on it and understand what's in it, because what it's telling you is you have rights that are given to you by God that cannot be taken away, and you have not been standing up for them. If you don't want to stand up for your rights, then you don't deserve them. We're going to start standing. See, the bird is whistling because he know what I'm talking about. I said it. Yes, I did.
Yes.
But you have any questions?
Indeed. No, ma'am. I'm just ready to get all of this going. So I'm going. It's a bit rainy here today in PG. So I want to get this going first thing in the morning and get everything finalized and have you look over it before I take it in and just make sure it's all correct if you don't mind.
Yes, we can do that, and we'll have a session where I'll go over some other things with respect to the poor man's copyright, and what we do with stamps
Yes.
and how we use them and how to set it up and send it in, because that's very important with all of that
Yes.
too. But I hope you all got some information from this session. This is my first time doing the full depths of the session, and so y'all thank Shonda K. Shonda K wanted to put this out there for you guys. And hopefully we'll be doing some more sessions like this, and so that everybody can get a better understanding of what's going on with this game, and we can go deeper into what these laws are. Let me say this before I get out of here, people. I know y'all, oh, I got to pay this bill and I need this money and I want to tap into the account and I want to get some money. Y'all better start learning those universal laws. If y'all haven't downloaded the universal laws and the hierarchy of laws, learn them, know what they are, because that's where your money is, right here. This is where the money is. All this stuff about tapping into this account, that's play. Once you get the universal laws down and you get your mind right, everything you manifest, everything you want, you can manifest with ease. Get that down. And we're going to start manifesting and stop stressing about this stuff they call money. It ain't even money here. All right. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. If y'all have any questions, hit me in the inbox. If y'all want to, donate to this cause, please feel free to do so. DivaLarie.com, DIVALYRI.com. Do a donation. Hit me up. I'll be glad to give you all of these documents. I love you. I appreciate you. Shonda K, you got anything else?
No, ma'am. I'm just looking forward to the next session, and hopefully we can continue to go live with these. Like you said, the knowledge is power. So, it's a few of us on here, and that's what matters, is those that are here to learn this information so you can take back control of your life.
That's right, and help others take control of their lives. All right, we out, people. Love you. Peace.
Deuces. Peace. That was good, Empress.